What's up, party people? Just want to do a quick little check here. So let's go ahead and see who we got here. If you are logged in and you're hanging out here with us, go ahead and drop on over and say a little chat or something, So I just want to say what's up. We're testing this out first couple minutes. First of all, can you guys hear me okay? Can we do a check on that? Can I get like a drop a comment or something, say something if you can hear me? All right, you guys see there's a little chat. There should be a chat box to the right of your window here. So if you guys can see me, hear me, give me like a thumbs up. Give me something, man. Let me see. All right, cool. We got people coming in. Woo! People are, boom, Scott in the house. All right, Carrie, Cindy. All right, what's going on? All right, you guys can hear me okay? Thumbs up. Yes, yes. All right. Good, Greece. All right, awesome. So there is a slight delay, so I got to just kind of get accustomed to that. A lot of times I'll say things and then it'll be like a delay before it gets to you. So I'm like a minute in the future usually. All right, loud and clear. All right, man. Look at everyone just bouncing on, man. Is this fun? Is this pretty cool? You guys are just chilling out with me here. All right, cool. So what do we got? We got people just piling in. We're gonna get started in about 4 minutes. At 8 o'clock promptly, but I wanted to open up the room right off the bat. Man, and I got a lot of questions that you guys, just good stuff that you guys submitted beforehand. So I'm pretty pumped for that. So I actually got a little survey here. So what's up? Australia, Portugal, man, dude, I love you guys so much, man. My people, listen, don't get me wrong. I got mad love for my US, my Canadians, everyone out here. But you got to appreciate, what time is it out there? If you guys are overseas, post what time it is right now for you. Because I got to see that. All right. I got to see that. I know it's like crazy. I do webinars and people are on them at like 4 a.m. It's insane. Cocoa Beach, Florida, Philly. What's up? Waiting. You're waiting to pick up what I'm laying down. All right. Oh, we got a hi from Wilmington. Someone's in my backyard. That's where I live. So what's up? All right, Ohio. Holy smokes, this is just cruising in. So I'm trying to read your guys' comments over here. I'm actually going to start looking at a couple questions here. Some people so you guys, for all the guys that filled out the survey on the thank you page, appreciate that. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to do something pretty cool that I've got that I kind of like because of this thing here. So let's see. I can actually do little pop-ups. So I'm going to do this. So tell me if you guys see this. Boom. On the side of your screen, you should see now, and again, I don't know how it looks or works on your end, but you should see something that says connect with me on Facebook, and it's got a nice pretty little picture of me on there. Click there and hop on over to Facebook too. And I just posted a comment, or just did a post that just said, if you're with me and you're on this thing, scoot on over there and like that. And make sure you like my page if you haven't already. But when you go to my Facebook fan page, just drop a comment there so that way I can connect with you guys back on Facebook and I can kind of put a face with all these awesome names that I'm seeing. All right, so cool. Let's see. So I just wanted to display that pop up. So that's probably somewhere on your screen to the right or the left. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me. All right, it's on the right to my screen, but I can't see the pop-ups in the chat at the same time. I'm sure you guys probably can't. Colombia. All right. Yes. All right. Holy smokes. Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Good vacation spot. Hey from Philly. Austin. All right. Cool. All right. So Beast Mode Bailey from Utah. Gotta love that girl. It's my home girl. Mad love. Beast Mode Bailey. All right. So Julio. Daniel. All right. Jesse. Catherine, love this. This is fun, right? It's just like you guys are just chilling here in my home office. All right. So, I'll give you a little tour. Here we go. So if we turn to the side, that right there is my dry erase wall. It's just kind of like an open concept office. I love it because I'm close to the kitchen, so that way I can get my eat on conveniently, So, cool. So that's my dry erase wall. That's where I like mastermind and map a lot of stuff. All right. So, but this will be the last that you guys will probably see me in this house on camera. because next month, early next month, we're closing on our new house, and this thing is it's crazy. It's crazy, you know. So I'm pretty excited, you know. So it's just a testament, man. Dreams can come true when you work hard and you sacrifice, and you know, you do some of the things I'm going to share with you guys here this evening. All right. So hop on over to my fan page and make sure that you're showing some love and you're dropping. I'm actually going to go over there right now. Let me see who's over here. I'm going to kind of hop on my computer here. So pardon me. All right, let's see, who do we got? I'm just looking at some of the comments here on this page. Make sure you drop a comment. I just my newest post, it says if you're on tonight's training, drop a comment below. All right, boom, I'm seeing all kinds of comments. All right, cool, man, 20 comments already. Boom, that's awesome, and I know it's growing. So awesome, that way I'll be able to kind of put a face with the name, because I can't see you guys, you know, and I love that. I'd love to be able to see all you guys, because it's where I train best, when I'm like in live audiences. So, all right. So let me just kind of give you guys, you know, a little format here of kind of what we got going on. What we're going to do is we're going to do what I have affectionately called this a rapid fire Q&A session, meaning, oh, it's 1 a.m. in Ireland. So I finally got that. Someone kind of told me where they were at over here. 3 a.m. in Greece. What? Oh my God, it's 10 a.m. in Australia. They're already on the next day. You know, they're like, yo, come on, wake up, US. Man, we're already a day ahead of you guys. All right. All right, good deal. All right, so someone said I'm getting some local times here in Iowa at 6:55 p.m. I apologize, you know, to my man in Iowa or whoever that was, and some of you guys posting, but you guys, you're not sacrificing quite as much as the guy over there in Greece at 3 a.m. But it doesn't matter. I love you all the same anyway. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get going. So let me just kind of give you the format for this evening or this morning for my Australian overseas folks. So what we're gonna do is I want you guys to just at whatever types of questions that you want to ask me. This is gonna be an open forum. So I'm gonna give you a couple of tips. Number one, have a pen and paper ready. All right, let me tell you why. Because there's nothing to screenshot here, right? This is just gonna be me spitting, and what you're gonna want to do is you're going to want to probably write down some scripts, because for those of you that have seen me train live, you know I come up with my best stuff usually on the fly. And, you know, Beast Mode Bailey, you know, I talk to her all the time, and, you know, I'll say stuff and I'll be like, holy crap, could you write that down? You know, because I'll come up with one-liners and scripts, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome. I can't believe, where did that come from? Praise God. You know, that was like a jewel nugget or a new script, and I want to use it. You know, so so you guys, I would appreciate you taking notes, because I mean, heck, who knows? When this thing's done, I may say, hey, you know, who took some good notes today? I wanna get a copy of them. All right, all right. So let's do this. All right, what I encourage you to do, because I want you to understand, there is a slight delay. So if you type something in, it's gonna take maybe a few seconds. Everything I say, it's kind of like a minute or so ahead of you guys. All right, so what I want you to do is when you post your, whenever you post your question, I want you to understand and just get okay knowing that, you know, there's a couple hundred people on here already. I may not answer every single person's question, but I'm committed to doing the best that I can. So just forgive me up front if I don't answer your question. It's not that I'm not ignoring you. It's maybe your question isn't, you know, it's just something that's really specific that doesn't benefit anyone else. I want to try and cherry pick the best ones that I think are going to help not just you, but also maybe the community at large. All right, so we got to think of our fellow brothers and sisters on here, right? You know, so that's one. Number two, you know, let's have some fun with this. Fire your questions at me, and when you do, I would copy and paste it, all right, because I may not answer it right away. And if I'm in the middle of answering someone's question, understand if you ask me another question while I'm in the middle of it, I'm not going to be able to read it, because I want to focus and like really be in the flow and in the zone with that wavelength and that thought, all right? Because if I'm spitting fire and I'm on to something good and I'm answering this question, and I go ahead and like, I can't stop to read someone else's, I can't finish my thought and then also read, all right? You know, so kind of know that. So if you shoot a question and I don't answer it right away, just, you know, wait till I'm finished with my thought and then post it again. But don't be the person that just posts it like 50 times in a row, because that's just annoying and kind of like, you know, ridiculous, all right? So, cool. So we're going to go ahead and get rocking and rolling. So let's go ahead and answer some questions. All right. So what questions do you have? All right. What do you guys got for me? What do you guys got? So if you got a question, just go ahead and type it in the chat box and I will do my best to answer it. All right, so whatever you got on prospecting, recruiting, closing, you know, if you're not in network marketing or something and you're like in insurance sales or real estate and you have a question, kind of preface that so I kind of know how to answer it. That would be helpful. So cool. All right, let's see here. Already a fan on Facebook. Cool. We got some people saying they're fans on Facebook. So I've got a good question that I can answer here from one of the surveys. If you guys, let me see. Let's see. Closing. Man, I had, by the way, prospecting and closing were the two things that most people ask questions on. All right. So let me see here. Let me see. I'm just kind of scanning here. Someone's saying nothing's showing up on their screen, but I believe that you guys can see me, so I don't think that's an everybody thing. All right, so let's see. All right, questions. I'm scanning. All right, let me see here. You know, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to go, because I think there's a little bit of a delay. I'm going to go ahead and answer one of the questions that I actually answered this on a Periscope today. And this question, I'm going to answer it live here. All right. Well, I'm going to kind of give you guys a second to get some of your questions in because like I said, there's a slight delay here. This was a person that had a question on closing and they said, my prospects are hesitant in closing the deal. I answer all their questions and even try to get my upline to speak on the phone with them. Where am I going wrong? So this is what I said earlier today. So I did this training earlier today for my fans on Periscope. If you're not on Periscope, make sure you're there. But you know, my answer to that question is where are you going wrong? Now, obviously, I don't get to see everything that's going on. There could be a million things that you're doing wrong, you know, in the process. But if you're answering all of your prospects' questions and then you're getting your upline on the phone to share their story, I don't always think that that's the best idea. Now, this is where I'm going to get a little controversial. All right, I understand this. I do things very different than most people, you know, in the industry in network marketing. Why? Because I've been in this game for 14 years. Right, I'm the #3 recruiter with our company, my fiance and I, and the things that I do and say are very different, and they've been time tested over and over again. And this is what I found so I've gotten a chance to see what works and what doesn't, what I like and what I don't like. All right, one of the things that I don't like doing is I don't like getting as an upline. I don't believe if you're sitting down with a prospect and then you're answering like all 50 of their questions, right? I think you're kind of losing posture almost with each question you start to answer beyond like the first one or two, all right? And that's just my philosophy, all right? Because I think people start to cross the line of, you know, answering questions to starting to look like they're selling. A lot of people know how to answer questions and not also come across as like they're trying to convince, right? Amateurs convince, professionals story. You want to maintain for optimum closing percentage, you want to maintain that attitude in your posture of, hey, look, man, I don't necessarily need you. I'll be happy to answer a question or two of yours. I want to make sure that you're comfortable getting in, but you don't want to be answering like 50 questions for them, okay? And when you get your upline on the phone, all right, a third-party person to close, you don't want that person to continue selling. Because if the entire presentation is you selling, answering all their questions, selling, and they're a hesitant prospect, and then all you're doing is getting someone else to then convince them further, you're losing posture points. They're then thinking, man, dude, why is everyone's trying to sell me into this thing? And the more you push, the more they run away. I want you to remember this. Everything you chase will run away. And everything you run away from will chase you. That's a famous Cesarism right there. You may want to write that one down. Everything you chase will run away, and everything you run away from will chase you. So you want to make sure that you don't look like you're chasing your prospect and trying to get a third-party person on the phone to share their story. You know, like it's funny, people get on the phone with me like before they know better, if they're not trained, and they'll be like, hey, Cesar, you know, I want you to could you share your story with this person? And I always think that with their prospect, I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna get on the phone, I'm gonna say, hey, how's it going? Looks like you're on the fence. You know, I guess you're having a good time with such and such person on my team there. You know, really quick, I just wanted to let you know a little bit about my story. And then I get on there and I start selling them. And I'm like, hey, you know, I started when I was 21. I was, you know, working behind the counter of a GNC. I started at 21 and made my first $1 million by 29. This industry rocks. You should go ahead and do it. Like all they're doing is just going like this and claiming up more and more. They're just going, all right, yeah, another person trying to convince me to do it. All right, mentally they're doing that. So what you want to do is you want to take it away a little bit. And I think probably if you're dealing with hesitant prospects, you probably need to take it away a little bit, stop selling, answer a question or two of theirs, and then fire back and say, hey, listen, obviously you've got a lot of questions here. Let me just find out. Let me just cut to the bottom line. Even if I answered all of your questions here today and you liked everything that you saw, is there anything preventing you from getting started? Like the money, for example, financially, it's this much to get started. Now that wouldn't be a problem for you today to come up with that money to go ahead and get started if you get all your questions answered, would it? Right? And right there, we've taken control. Here's another Caesarism. Whoever's asking questions is in control. If they're asking you questions, make sure that you're following up and answering a question back. So if you answer a question, make sure you follow it up with another question to take control. That way, if they don't have the money, you're not wasting your time, because there's nothing that annoys me more than getting someone on the line with me, and then I talk to them for 10 minutes, and they're like, oh, geez, I don't even have a bank account, right? So make sure, guys, that if you're having hesitant prospects, so to answer that person's question, that was who was that over here? So I got their email, so I don't have their name there, but that's my advice to you for my friend. All right, was that solid, guys? Was that good? And you appreciating that? All right, so let's get back to some other questions here. So I'm going to scroll up. I've gotten a chance to get like another dozen. Okay, forget a dozen. Okay, like 500 questions. Okay, this is awesome. Let me just scroll up and catch up with you guys. Holy moly, there's a lot of questions here. All right. How to approach cold market or random people on the streets from the mall. So I've got a formula for those of you that saw. I did a webinar about a month. Actually, yeah, not even like it was probably 3 weeks ago, last month. In that question, wow, God, I'm going to have trouble keeping up with this feed. All right, and that question was, how do I approach people cold market at the mall? So I've got a formula for it, CCQ-TTC. It's my cold market prospecting formula. I did a whole webinar on it. But, if you just want to stop someone, best thing to do is to ask them a question, right? Maybe pay them a compliment and ask a question, So that would be my quickest advice for you, And then once you're in that flow of that conversation, right, you compliment. You want to go ahead and start to converse with them, ask them a question about something. Hey, it could be simple as like, hey, excuse me, are you from around here? I'm sorry, I had to ask. You're dressed like to the nine, man. You are super sharp. Like, dude, what do you do? And then you're right into what they do already. Within a couple sentences, you're already asking a question. You stopped them, you've complimented them, right? And you're in the conversation. So right from there, you can start to learn a little about what they do, what they like, what they don't like. You can then take some of that information and transition it into your pitch, right? Find out, look for the problem. All right, so I look so young. How can I get people to take me more seriously by prospecting and closing in the insurance industry? Awesome. Well, it's funny. I was actually talking with a buddy of mine, Jerry Clark, Jerry DeRhino Clark. All right, super famous dude. He made his first million in the insurance, and then insurance network marketing company. I won't name which one it is. A lot of you guys probably know. But anyways, man, he looked super young too. And listen, dude, for me, I looked like I was 16 when I was, 18 or probably like 20. So when I was 21, I was probably just there starting to look like I was about 19, right, 18. So what did I do? I just took it off myself. All right, so take it off of yourself. And even if you're in insurance, you don't have to act like you're the big deal. All right, you can always just kind of tee things up for your senior partner or another mentor of yours. And you can say, hey, listen, I happen to be working, underneath and being mentored by one of the best, and here's the deal. I'd love to introduce you to him sometime. What I can do is I can kind of take care of you, get your initial paperwork done. I'll kind of review this by him and, some of my other colleagues and see what the best plan is for you. Right? So that way you can just take it off you. If you're young and you have an insecurity dealing with that, and listen, I'll be honest, I did too for a while. And again, it's a totally different age, even today than it was when I was 21. There's like tons of like millionaires like that are like Zuckerbergs and internet millionaires walking around. I mean, it's crazy. People look at me and my age and they're shocked when they like look at my financials and like my mortgage broker and like my real estate people. And they're like, people are looking at our stuff and they're like, dude, what the hell do you guys do? Like, how do you do this, right? So I want you to understand something. That's kind of common knowledge now. More and more people are coming to awareness that, there's a lot of non-traditional ways to make money, and there's young millionaires all over the place. So people don't necessarily know you or know how successful you are, all right? I got another question. Again, we're going rapid fire, so I'm trying to, dude, I'm gonna be like on the floor when I'm done with this. Let me take a sip of water here. So I'm going hard. Let me see. Do you ask your prospect if he has the money before or doing the presentation or in the final? Oh, this is good. Shh. Do I give this to you? All right, I'm going to go ahead. This is what you get when you get me live, right? I give all the goods. Me personally, I like to ask before I do a presentation, but that's just me. That's where my posture's at. All right. For you, if you're having trouble getting in front of people, I highly recommend that you probably don't do that unless you feel like your posture is really strong. All right. And by the way, guys, hold off on the questions for 1 second because I'm so backlogged. People's questions are disappearing and I'm like reading them and then they're gone on the screen. I didn't realize that this thing gets maxed out and I can only see so many at a time. All right. So what I do personally is myself, when I get on the phone with people, you know, and again, I've got a whole pitch kind of like in my intro where I set it up, you know, and I'm not going to go into it, you know, now because it would take too long. It's a lot of kind of storytelling and analogies and examples and stuff, you know, but one of the big things that I do is I do find out if the person has the money before I even sit down with them nowadays. But that's because I could have a full book of business, or I could have a full appointment book every single day without like, just like that. You know, I could be like literally booked up in 20-minute increments if I wanted to sit down with everyone. So for me, I'm trying to sort a lot of people out of my funnel. All right. I'm trying to sort a ton of people out. All right. So what I'm doing is think about it like this. If I could meet with only 5 people a day, but I've got 15 appointments and I don't have a problem calling someone up and saying, hey, listen, I got something that I think you're going to want to see. Here's the deal. I don't want to waste any of your time or mine. You know, there is an investment up front. It's going to be this amount of money. If that would be a problem for you, no big deal. I can meet with you at a time when it won't be. But, you know, just want to ask you, I want to be totally upfront and brutally honest. You know, would that be an issue for you if you liked everything that you saw and I liked everything that I saw? You know, it's going to be this amount of money. Would that be an issue for you to get started today? If they say yes, then I'm going to say, okay, great. When would it not be? Okay, next Friday. Awesome. Let's talk next Friday. But that's just me. I want to eliminate the money objection up front because I've got so many people in my pipeline at all times. All right. So Olivia asks, how can I get prospects to say yes to the invite? Hold on 1 second. Let me put this on pause. Just had to do a quick little shout out to my honey over here. All right, the future wife-to-be, Miss Tanya Liza, awesome celebrity. Look her up. She is bad to the bone when it comes to training, you know, anyone in the home business industry. All right. Olivia said, how do I get prospects to say yes to the invite? You know, here's the thing. I don't know what prospect you're talking about. If it's someone that's a warm market, you know, I think the best way to get someone to say yes to the invite is to make sure that you don't sound like needy and beggy, right? You know, make sure you're stepping up your posture. You guys are going to learn everything I'm about is about coming from a position of strength and posture, right? You want to be strong in every encounter. So one of the best ways to get someone to say yes to your invite is to act like you don't need them, right? If you're getting on the phone and you're like, hey man, you really want to see this? It's so awesome. It's so exciting. Then what you're doing is you're selling and then they're immediately going to go like, whoa, 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 wait a second. You know, I don't know about this. But if you come with a different style and you're like, hey man, look, I don't know, you know, I don't really know if this is going to be 40 or not. Here's the deal. I got a lot of people I'm going to show this. You know, I've got a lot of people. I just ran across something I'm pretty excited about. I got a lot of people I'm going to show this to. I don't know if it would be for you. It probably isn't, you know, but, you know, here's what I'd recommend. All right. Got a couple minutes. How soon can I get together with you for about 15 minutes? All right. And again, dude, if you're not open or interested, no problem. I got plenty of other people to call. I just wanted to reach out to you to let you know that about what I'm about to get into, because when I take off with this thing, I don't want you to look at me and think, hey man, I thought we were cool. How come you never let me know about it? How come you never gave me the inside scoop? Because you know I would have done the same for you, right? So I pretty much don't want to be that douchebag friend, you know. So I'm trying to hook you up right now to give you a chance to take a look. But if not, no worries. You know, my mentor told me to make sure that I reached out to, you know, at least my closest friends, so that way they can never hold it against me. I mean, how fun is that, right? So I've got a couple rules when I talk about inviting people and when I talk about, you know, approaching people. It's number one, you know, it's have posture. Number two, have fun, you know, and anticipate and eliminate, right? So have fun, all right, be postured, anticipate and eliminate, right? You want to just have fun, relax, all right? talk to people like you would normally talk to them, right? We put on our business hat and then we get all serious and we're like, hey, and we act like we're reading from a script. You know, just keep it real, man. You know, so all right. What else do we do? Someone's asking if I do offer coaching sessions one-on-one. Actually, I do not. I only coach people that are on my team right now. You know, when I did, it's $1,000 an hour, but I don't do that right now because I want to give 100% of my time to my team. However, I have created, you know, and I don't know, you keep posting something, Maria, I'm going to have to boot you if this is a spam thing. All right, because you're posting a link. No posting links here, guys. You got to be cool. I don't know what this is, but make sure that you're doing this, or otherwise I'm going to have to kick you off of here, Maria. So, what I just want to let you know, though, is I have tried to make it my best to not need to my goal is to impact the masses, not to just help the people that have got the most money. You know, I'm sorry to say that, like, you know, for the people that have got big money and they can afford to pay me one-on-one and they can afford to maybe fly down here and pay me for one-on-one coaching. That's not my outcome. I want to help everyone. I want to help the little guys just getting started off because that's what I was. You know, I want to help the person that's got a little bit of money, but, you know, they'd love to get my help, but they can't. So I put together programs and created trainings that do a pretty good job of giving you the same exact experience as if you were getting coached by me without needing to have my personal time. For example, I have a course called the Immediate Yes Formula. A lot of you guys have it. If you've got the Immediate Yes Formula, you know, feel free to, you can post something about that. But in the Immediate Yes Formula course, it's like this. It's on camera. I'm sitting at a table. You get a workbook, all right, that you can just download and print out. And it's virtual training, and I'm literally giving you everything that I need, everything that about presenting, closing, how to build rapport, trust, credibility. It's only $147 right now. Actually, you know what? I wanted to configure a couple little things for you guys. So let me see. Let me pop this in. So for those of you that are interested in this, or for Maria, if you want some of my coaching time, this is what I recommend. I would probably get this course. It's $147 and it's my best training on closing. It's like 3.5 hours of time. All right, with me. All right, we're talking like $3,000 of time with me teaching you everything about closing. So you guys can see that right there. Again, this isn't like a sales webinar. This isn't something where I'm out here. You know, like I didn't do this so that I could sell products. I don't care if you buy anything tonight, honestly. This is just value. I'm going to Key West to hang out at the Real World Beach House in Key West. It's like real cool. I'm going down there. I won a contest with our company. You know, so I'm going down there with some other, you know, top leaders, #1 earners, etc. And for the past month, I've like launched one of my courses. It was Reality Networker Prospecting Mastery. And it would just be my entire Reality Networker series, which is live footage of me prospecting people on the streets. It's like live phone calls, like 4.5 hours of me calling prospects, right? You know, so you can hear what I say, see exactly what I've done to be the #3 recruiter and put in hundreds of people like that, you know, into my primary company. You know, and then it's 9 hours if you want coaching, you know, that it's 9 hours of me like coaching people, asking every single question that you would probably ask or anyone would ask. And I launched that last month. I closed the cart. You can't buy it now. I may at the end, if you guys really want that course, for some of you guys asked for it before and you missed your chance, I might offer it again. I configured a little pop-up if you guys want it. I may open up the cart. I'm undecided at this point. But we'll see. But let's get back to the training. But for those of you guys that want that, this isn't like a sales webinar at all. This is just me trying to give back and have fun. But I did want to create a couple resources for you guys in case any of you guys wanted to get more training beyond this thing, or if any of you guys are like have heard about some of my trainings, you didn't get a chance to get them in the past. All right. So let's see. Someone says, how do you answer if someone asks, how much do you earn? Oh, man. All right. So here's the deal. There's a lot of ways. If someone asks you a question, let me see something. What was that question? I think I can actually broadcast the question. Let me see if that did something. All right. So do you guys see that on your screen? I think I just broadcast that question. I don't know what that does. All right. So it should maybe put it on the bottom of the screen, I think. I don't know. All right. I clicked the button that said broadcast. This is a new platform for me, so bear with me. So here's what someone said. If anytime someone asks you like, hey, how much have you made, or how much are you making, there's a lot of different ways to answer that. All right. Now, the most important thing that you want to do with any objection that comes your way is you want to determine the energy that the person is coming at you with. So if someone says like, you know, hey, and this is Neri, you know, if someone says, hey, Neri, like, how much are you making in this thing? That's a totally different question than someone goes, oh yeah, well, how much are you making, right? And what you want to do, a big thing about handling objections and answering questions is you want to match and mirror, all right? You want to match and mirror. So you want to match your prospect and mirror them, all right, and answer in the same type of tonality, you know, that they're coming at you with, the same type of tempo. So if someone's like, well, how much are you making? You know, one great question, you know, that you can ask, you know, back is you can say, well, you know, to be real, I haven't really kept up because I'm still making money off of the efforts that I've already done. So all the money hasn't caught up just yet, you know, and that's going to make them think like, wait, what are you talking about? Oh, well, unlike trading, you know, time for money, like, you know, what we do in this business is I'm getting paid residually, and everything that I do, all the efforts I'm putting in now are paying off, and they're going to compound over the next several years. So I really don't know how much. I'm not a real numbers person. I'm not keeping track up with all that. All I'm doing is focusing on the activity, you know, and that's kind of the difference between what I do and what you do. See, you know how much you make per hour. You know, I don't, because I get paid multiple times for every minute that I invest in my business. So it's a little bit different than kind of how what you do. Now, let me ask you something. You know, if you had the option to get paid one time for every hour you work, you know, if you could have the opportunity to get paid over a lifetime, over and over, month after month, year after year, you know, what would you rather choose? Right? And then ask them a question. So that's just another way of flipping it over, right? Now, here's the thing. Someone's saying, so that's one way to answer it. Now, if they're coming at you with a different urgency, you know, all right, now again, all of this comes into the setup of the presentation, how you're coming, all right? It's hard to recover if you started off with weak posture. Now, if you start off with strong posture, like Evan says, what if they ask for proof of your income? So here's what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna reframe that person. If someone says, oh yeah, how much have you made? Prove it to me, you know, show me some statements. You know, what I'm gonna say is this, I'm going to come at them equally strong, and I'm gonna say, well, hey, listen, man, you know, listen, I'm gonna laugh. So there's a couple ways you can handle objections. You know, there's lots of ways, but 3 quick ones is you can ignore it, right? If someone asks you a question, you could just ignore it and act like you didn't even hear it. And you'd be surprised when you do that and you ask them a question that they just, how they move on to the next subject. So that's one way, right? Some of you guys act like you don't, like, what? That's weird. How could I ignore a question? Well, for those of you in relationships, like when your, you know, spouse says, you know, your boyfriend or girlfriend says, hey, listen, can you do the dishes? Or hey, can you take out the garbage? You know, and then you act like you didn't hear it, right? Or you come in late and they're like, hey, where have you been? You know, and you just act like you just keep on going about your business. You know, that you'll find that, yes, you can actually pull that off. And a lot of you guys have already done this in real life, right? So that's one way to do it, ignore it. Another thing to do is to laugh at it, right? You know, when someone asks you a question, and I would probably laugh for a question like that. And then another thing that you can also do is you can, you know, ask them with a question back, right? You repeat back what they said with a dumb face, you know, like, you know, how much am I making? You know, show you proof of my income, right? And just practice that dumb face. And they're going to be like, yeah, because, so just think about that. If someone said, hey, show me proof of your income, you know, how much are you making? You know, I would say right back to them, like, I would either laugh or I would repeat back with a dumb face. So I'd be like, show you proof. You want me to show you proof of my income? You know, show you proof of my income. And they're going to go, when you act like someone just asks you a dumb question, they immediately go on the defensive and they're on their heels now, and they're going, did I just say something really ridiculous and inappropriate? Yeah, I mean, if you want me to do this, you know, yeah, you're going to need to show me, you know, how much you're making. It's like, if I want you to do this? Now they're going, well, yeah, isn't that why we're here? So what have we done? We put them on the defensive, and then you get to flip and say, no, actually, that's not why we're here. You know, the reason that we're here is because I already know what I'm about to do this, and I'm not on trial, and neither is this company. I was just trying to be a good friend and show you what I'm about to do. But at the end of the day, I'm not here to prove anything to you, man. I just wanted to go ahead and show you what I was up to, because I'm going to do this with or without you. And I'm looking for people and my senior partners and my mentors and the team of people that I'm working with, all people that have been extremely successful in this business and in this industry. You know, they're committed to helping people like me to win big. All right. And at the end of the day, they asked me who I knew that might also have a positive attitude, might be open-minded, might be business-minded. And I thought of you out of all the people that I know. So I'm not here to try and prove to you what I'm making or what we're about to do, because we're going to do it with or without you, brother. You know, but at the end of the day, I was just here to expose you and let you learn about it. But if you think that my job is to convince you, all right, you got another thing coming, man, because that's not what I'm here to do. And as a matter of fact, if you don't believe that you can do this, then you're not the right person for this in the first place. Because it's not about me and what I'm making. It's about you and your vision to see yourself doing something like this and to see what you're looking for. So I'm looking for someone who's confident in their own ability and doesn't need to leverage off or see what someone else is doing before they make a decision for themselves. You know, so at the end of the day, are you the type of person that believes in yourself? Yes or no? Boom. All right. Was that sick? You like that, Evan? Appreciate that. All right. You know, so here's the deal. All right. You know, I do a little thing when I'm on stage, do a little mic drop, and I just go boom. Right. So that's how we mic drop on them. And you could do the same thing with laughing. You could be like, show me how much have you made? Oh man, this is hilarious. Wait, you think I need to prove something to you? You think this is about like me you think I need to like supplicate and prove myself to you and like, you know, try and beg you into this thing? No, man, I'm going with it or without you. I just wanted to go ahead and give you the opportunity to jump on this money train because it's going with it or without you, man. And if you think that I need to sell you or if you're looking to make a decision based on what I'm doing, then I read you wrong, man. And this probably isn't going to be for you in the first place. Boom. Right? So again, those are the different ways that you can handle it. So let's take another question here. Love that style. Guys, this is like how I do what I do. I'm giving you guys the nuggets. And matter of fact, I'm thinking about putting together a training event where I teach this entire style and just literally transform people next year. All right. So I'm thinking about doing something like that. I don't know if you guys be open to that. But this is going to be more of a higher ticket, you know, type of event. It's not going to be the type of event that you normally go to. You know, this is going to be like hardcore psychological stuff. Oh, and I saw some people complimenting me on the shirt and the gear, B10XB. You know, we might talk about that here. I'm sure I've had a lot of questions. I've had a lot of questions on, you know, on how to overcome fear when prospecting people and stuff. So I might do that. So let's see. How do I respond to a cold market prospect who's just flat out and rude? So how do you do that? Pretty simple. You don't. You just ignore them, my friend. If someone's being rude to you, do you really want them on your team? Do you want a team of rude people or do you want a team of like fired up, like cool people? You know, just freaking next them, right? Oh, next them. So N-E-X-T, like next, you know, get them out of here. All right. I don't want to deal with any, you know, I don't want any rude dicks on my team. All right. So, all right. After I've prospected, all right, here's a question. After I've prospected and have their contact info, how do I get them to meet with me? All right. How do you follow up? Sounds like is a question. So we're going to take Victor's question. All right. How do I get someone, to, so let's see this. After I prospect someone and gotten their contact, how do I get them to meet with me? You know, if you're going to follow up with someone, the biggest thing that you should be doing to get them to meet with you is you should be pre-setting up the fact that you're going to meet with them, or the purpose of them giving you their contact information is so that you can meet with them. You want to be setting that up from the beginning, right? So like I say, anticipate and eliminate. Anticipate, you know, what they might say and then eliminate it before it comes up. All right. Or what you want to do is, a lot of times when I talk about prospecting, if you guys see my prospecting webinar that I did before, or if any of you guys have got my prospecting mastery course, where it's live footage of me prospecting people, you know, in the streets, like 20 videos of just like different case studies and me giving the play-by-play breakdown. You know, you'll actually see in that course, you know, when I prospect the person's and get their information, I'm always doing an intent statement. I'm telling them what's going to happen next. I'm saying, all right, great. Go ahead and give me, let me get your name. Just go ahead and write down your name and number here, and I'll get in the best couple ways for me to catch up with you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a call back. You want to tell them what you're going to do. I'm going to give you a call back. We'll talk on the phone, get maybe some more information in front of you, or we'll get together, you know, we'll do a cup of coffee. Right? You know, I'm going to give you a call. We'll set something up. We'll work. I'll figure out a time where I'm available and that I might be able to squeeze you in on, and then we can go ahead and go from there. Sound good? All right, great. So then when you pick up the phone and call them back, I would rehash any information you learned from them. Right? Say, hey, listen, the other day when we met, you know, you said that you were, you know, kind of sick and tired of what you were doing and you were keeping your options open when it came to making more money and you were looking for something that was more fulfilling. Listen, were you serious or just kidding around about that the other day? And they'll probably say, oh, no, I was pretty serious about that. Okay, great. Well, if you were serious, why don't we do this? I mentioned that I'll look for a hole in my calendar. And I've actually got, one tomorrow afternoon. Do you have any plans tomorrow afternoon? I've got one tomorrow afternoon, and I've got one on Friday. What day works best for you? And they'll probably say, well, what, Friday's better. Okay, great. Like afternoons or evening, I'm going to try and schedule you in here. All right. And then if they say, and then whatever they do, just kind of take it from that alternative choice close. Okay, great. 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock, which works best for you? All right, great. We'll go ahead and do that. All right. So boom, that's you, Victor. All right, cool deal. Oh, someone is asking me about my shirt. They're saying I love this shirt. This is the new gear. For those of you guys that don't know, B10XB, it stands for Be 10 times bolder. It's part of the clothing line that I'm actually launching. It's clothing with a purpose. All right, so I am wearing right now one of the cotton spandex shirts. These are so nice, man. They're so comfortable, very light. And actually, let me see. Okay, Beast Mode Bailing saying, follow B10XB on Instagram. Watch this. I'm going to do you one better, Beast Mode Bailey. This is what I have figured out to do. I'm going to go ahead and remove this immediate yes formula button. So if you guys didn't click on that yet, it's going to open it in a new window. Do it now. Too late. All right, now it's gone. All right, so I'm going to throw another pop in over here. And I will give you guys the opportunity to go ahead and follow the Instagram page right here. All right, so how about this? Boom shakalaka. All right, the Instagram, if you guys want like some serious Cesar hardcore motivation, you'll see right there on Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, it's literally worth setting up an account just to follow this page, because on here there's tons of motivation and quotes, and you're going to see everything that B10XB is about, the whole mission, what we're all about. So you can see right there, you want to click. It's going to open up that Instagram page in another window, and you can just go ahead and click to follow us there. Just remember the page B10XB. You'll see when you open up all the great quotes and motivation. Awesome stuff to be able to share with your team. A lot of times people will text me excuses or whatever, and I'll just scan my page. I'll look for something, and I'll shoot them a picture, all right, of one of my B10XB quotes, and I'll let that work on them, right? Because a picture's worth 1,000 words, all right? So you guys can just go ahead and click there to go ahead and follow B10XB on Instagram. Make sure that you're liking it. All right, I've got so many people that literally just signed up for Instagram just so that they can follow us on that page. All right, and I'm going to go into some more questions, but I just wanted to post that up. So let's see what other questions we got here. All right. What books? Carrie's got a good question. What books took me to the next level? Let me try and find that so I can maybe broadcast it. God, these things are going so fast. What books? Think and Grow Rich. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a huge one. Matter of fact, I don't think I can probably get out, but I have on my desk right here, if you guys can actually see it, that list right there. This is actually the fundamental tips. Those are like some of the biggest takeaways, from that book. So I literally keep that in front of me at all times. Like rule number 1, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Give sincere and honest appreciation. These are just like rules for life, man. And I highly recommend it. It's one of the best books. Brian Tracy, The Psychology of Selling. That was a great audio series that I bought back in the day. To be real, man, a lot of these courses and stuff that I bought, I mean, they cost $297, $497. I've taken the liberty, because I bought a lot of courses. Well, when I say a lot, I'm talking about I've invested over $100,000 in my own education, right? And I'm not excluding college. We're not counting college years. I'm talking about like seminars, courses, books. I mean, I'm not even counting like all the $20 books that I've bought in my career, in my life. I'm just talking about like the actual courses. So what I try to do, so that people like you don't have to buy and read every single book on sales psychology, I've made it my goal to take the best of what I've heard from this book and that book, in this industry and that industry, put it all together and make it work for you by giving you the most practical things. So that way, when I charge a course, when I charge $297 for like a course, or $147, like that immediate yes formula, you want to know what the best book to read is? It's get that course, and you've got about 100 books and dozens of courses on sales psychology wrapped up and bundled. So you didn't have to spend hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars in the next like 5 years trying to read everything. You can just get the cliff notes and what works best for our industry and what I've proven and tested in the field. So that's my recommendation is, you know, get a couple of those books, but pick up a course, you know, that I've created. And again, it's not just self-promotion. There's lots of other people that create courses, you know, but you know, if you guys like me and my style and kind of like what I'm spitting, then you know that's what you're gonna get. You know, so I can't speak for everyone else. Lots of people make courses. Someone says, Eric, how do I make people laugh when I first meet them? I say something funny, right? I crack a joke, and I'm not afraid to crack on my prospect, right? You know, if I'm talking to someone and I make a joke and something, and if I bust on them, that builds really good rapport really quick. Just a quick little neg. All right, so that's a great little thing to do. All right, let's see. So we'll take that one. All right. Let's see. So that was Richard's question. Let me see. Get some other people. Brian Tracy, funny. All right. Oh my gosh, this is harder than I thought, guys. Picking these questions. What do you use to track your prospects? Mailchimp. Oh, I actually use Infusionsoft. You know, I use Infusionsoft when I'm doing like, you know, contact management CRM stuff. I don't recommend it. It's like super duper expensive. You know, it's like a lot of money per month, but you don't need that. And what do I do to keep track of my prospects? Well, you know, here's my very professional, way. When I pull business cards, right? I don't want to like give you guys all the numbers, but these are two people I prospected the other day. One was actually a car salesman at an Audi dealership because we were looking at, you know, new Audis, and this guy was pretty impressive. This other lady was at a car wash. She's a realtor, you know, so this was a girl. This is how I keep track of my prospects, right? You know, so she's open to my biz. I put a little note there. So I'm pretty unorganized, to be honest, because follow-up is never something that I really cared a whole lot about. I'll be surprised if I call these people like back within like the next week. You know, I mean, because that's just like, dude, and when it comes to following up, you'll have a million people tell you fortunes in the follow-up. Here's what I figured out. When I got into this game, all right, I was like, I want to have lots of appointments, so presentations, so prospects. I need to have lots of fresh prospects in my funnel. And I know I need to sort, right? Make up in numbers which you lack in skill. And so I got really good at prospecting. That's the first thing I learned. And then I said, once I got prospecting and I started to notice I was doing lots of presentations and people weren't buying, I said, now let me master closing. Follow-up, not the best. I mean, I'm really good at it when I actually do it. But as far as organization, man, I don't care. If someone tells me no on the first time, then they're usually on. They're done. They get one shot, right? You get one shot with the champ, and that's it. You know, if they don't buy right away, it's their job to follow up with me. All right. But at the end of the day, I don't get a lot of people that I sit down with that don't buy. Right. You know, I don't get a lot of I don't do a lot of appointments with people that don't join. All right. And why? Because I've obviously being the creator of the immediate yes formula. You know, I kind of figured out this game on how to get people to say yes immediately and without objections. So I know if I sit down with them, guess what? They're probably not going to give me an objection. I'll post that up again, the immediate yes formula. They're probably not going to give me an objection because I know how to eliminate almost every objection they're going to say before they even say it. So that way I create a very seamless process from start to finish where they buy right away. And if they don't, it's usually because they can't. Very few are not interested. All right, so let's see what other questions we have. Let's just try this one. All right, what's a smooth way, Muhammad, big shout out, smooth way to bring up your opportunity to business owners you meet in person? You know, the smoothest way to bring up your opportunity, you know, is to, you know, ask questions, you know, and look for the in, right? And if they're a business owner, what do we want to do? We want to anticipate some of the needs and some of the lifestyle that a business owner might, you know, have, all right, especially depending on their business. We want to eliminate objections that they might have. You know, we want to anticipate, you know, what's going to be important to them, what might not be, you know, and we want to use some of that information. Like, so for example, if the person is a business owner, all right, I'll give you an example in one of my courses, Reality Networker Prospecting Mastery. You know, I might actually pop that up and let you guys have that. Let you guys have the opportunity to get that course. If you guys want to see that course and you want another shot to get any of my Reality Networker courses, this is the ones with like live footage of me in the streets, like prospecting people. I actually closed the cart. I did open it up tonight, but I'm kind of like, you know, do I want to do it? I don't want to look like I'm trying, like I did this to sell that stuff. But if someone's got, you know, a need and they really want that course and they want like the most badass training, let's just be honest. I'm going to be honest and humble. The most badass training on prospecting ever. that's the one. And not because of any other reason other than it's actually you see me doing it, you know, and it's as if you wanted to fly down, because I've had so many people that have said, hey man, let me fly down and shadow you, because that's what I did to get good, right? I flew down to where, or actually I drove down and moved to where my mentor lived, just so I could literally watch him prospect and tell me what he was doing and why. All right, so I created a course that's literally that. And it's only $297 or like 3 payments of $117. So you guys can, I'll pop that up in a minute, but let me just, you know, share this with you. I had a business owner that I prospected in that series as one of the videos in that course. And one of the things that I said is I said, hey, listen, you know, obviously as a business owner and entrepreneur, you know, it sounds like you're really well connected in this town, because he mentioned that he is, and he services a lot of other businesses. Look, you know, you being an entrepreneur and business owner, I know lots of other, one of the traits of business owners and entrepreneurs is they're very open-minded when it comes to business opportunities. That's how they became business owners in the first place. So look, I can't promise you anything, but that's what I find for most other business owners. Are you the same? Are you also the type of entrepreneur that keeps your options open to other opportunities? You know, or are you just married to, or are you going to just die doing that one thing, and or are you closed-minded to other opportunities, right? You know, and then a lot of times I go, well, no, of course, as a business owner, I'm open. Okay, great. Well, then why don't we do this? So that's one smooth way to transition. Another one is to just listen to them, find problems that they have, and eliminate them, right? All right. So, okay, I'm saying people saying, please, okay, you guys want a chance to get that course? Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to pop up Reality Networker. All right, so here's the deal. All right, here is the deal with this course. I'm going to actually freaking do this. This is going to be, some of you guys, your lives are literally going to be changed. Okay, just because I'm popping this up. Here's Prospecting Mastery. All right. So here's the deal with Prospecting Mastery. The course that you're seeing right here on the side, this is 20 videos, all right, of case studies of me in the street. It's like I wanted to create a reality TV show, all right, because you guys see how I am, right? You know, you can tell I like to have fun, and there's a lot of people out there that they teach theory, right? They just say, hey, here's what would work in theory, and they teach scripts that they don't even do or they barely do, right? I've prospected and pulled the numbers of over 20,000 people, like documented over 20,000. It's more like, you know, freaking 30 or 40,000 probably, right? I filled up black books like this of people's names and numbers for freaking years, right? You know, just like this. I've got stacks of these things all over the place. Business cards everywhere I freaking turn my head, all right? And I did this by modeling one of the best, you know, in the industry at the time. And so then I thought, I've had so many people say, Cesar, can I fly into town? Can I shadow you? Can I watch you? Like I said earlier. So I said, you know what? I hired a camera crew, right? So like, and this was so ninja. So these videos are so real. It's like, you know, he's like hiding in the bushes, like filming me, right? You know, while I'm prospecting people, you know, and this is like hardcore stuff, but it's fun because it's reality TV show style, right? So I do the deal, and then you see me cut away, and I'm like, hey, listen, the reason that I prospected this person and complimented on their watch is because I noticed that it had lots of diamonds and it was a Gucci original and it was blah, blah, blah. And I know that men like compliments on their watches, and I noticed this. That was the icebreaker. That's why I chose that instead of the shoes, because of this. Now, did you see how he asked me what I do for a living? Did you see how I dodged that question without looking shady? Well, here's why, and here's how I did it, and here's how you can too. So I literally give the full play-by-play, you know, on that. So if you guys want that course, I've literally opened up the entire series. It's a 3-part series. You're looking right there at Reality Networker. So that's, you know, part 1 where I'm like live footage, 20 different videos. It's $297, which, you know, honestly is a joke. It's actually, when I created it, I said this is gonna be $497, but I'm doing a promo right now, so you guys can all get it tonight if you guys want that. So for those of you that want more prospecting training after this, this is what you want to do. But do click on that link right now to open it up in another window so that you can go ahead and order it. And I think actually if you order it, like, I'll be able to give you a shout out. I think it tells me on this technology, which is kind of cool. So I'll be able to give you a shout out. All right. Am I in my new home in NC? No, I am not, John. I am not. I am going to miss this dry erase wall though, because the new home doesn't have it yet. But you'll know when we're in the new house, brother. All right. So it's going to be off the chisane. All right. So let's see. What other questions do we have? Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, I'm seeing people answering other people's questions. So Jesse said, man, I've got no cash. Can I get this at another time? I am super sorry, Jesse. No. This course is, it's honestly, the cart was closed on August 2nd. I'm just doing like a one-time thing for everyone here. And if this replay thing works, I'll, maybe give the replay people an opportunity to get it. I don't know. Depends how all this stuff works. This is, again, a totally new platform. I feel like I've broken GoToWebinar because our last webinar that we did, we had over 1,000 people register, and it has 1,000 person limit. This does not have a limit. So I'm switching to this. All right. So just find a way, Jesse. If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way. All right. So let's see. But I would click and open that order page in a new window right now, because when I pull that offer down, it's gone. All right. So let's see. What other question? I'm seeing people answering people's questions, so I don't know. I think there's a thing that you can do that answers a question, like it asks. Some people are. I don't know in this chat. Some people are somehow asking questions, and it's like they're getting a question mark by their name. So I don't know what you guys are doing to do that, but that would kind of help me if you ask a question with that box, because then I know, because I'm seeing a lot of stuff that's getting mixed up in the chat. All right, so let's see. Let me see. How do you get new prospects started in your business? That's a good question. So who just asked that? Let's see here. Where did that go? I want to broadcast that. Oh, I already forgot what that question was. Oh, how do I get new people started? In the business. Where's that? Oh my gosh. Okay. Broadcast. Nope, that was the wrong one. All right, I missed it. All right, so we're looking at it looks like Bartos maybe. All right, so how do I get people, new prospects started? So when someone joins my business, someone joins the team, what I do is I do a lot of different things. So for us personally, we've got an entire system. Like we have a lot of this stuff automated, right? Where someone gets started, I bring them in through our system and I say, hey, look, here's what I want you to watch and go through and blah, 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 right? So we've done a lot of automation because for myself, we sponsor way too many people that if I had to go over the super basics with every single person, it would take me forever. Because keep in mind, we recruit a lot of people into our company. We're the number 3 recruiters in our company out of over 300,000 people and in 28 different countries. So we're bringing people in quick, and I want to get their basics up to speed and then do a custom game plan with them afterwards. Some of the basics that I make sure that I cover is I want to make sure that they understand that they're positioned in the right mindset, meaning they're not in this thing for just quick money. All right. If someone kind of has this expectation, I want everyone to run fast, like they want to make quick money, right? And do lots of activity. But at the same time, I want them to have, and I want to give them the right expectations. People quit your team because of false expectations. Right? They have this, you painted this expectation for them like they're going to get rich quick, and then when they don't, they quit. So the thing that I want to do is I want to bulletproof them. I want to give them, say, hey, look, here's the deal. You're not looking for everyone. All right, this is a sorting business. It's about the numbers. Those who you think will, won't. Those who you think won't, will. Right? So I want you to understand there's a lot of people on here that you think are going to be sure shots. They're going to be your hardest people, and there's people that you're not even going to want to put down on this list originally. Those are going to be people that join and blow it up. All right, so we want to go ahead and do that. We want to make a list. We're going to go ahead and contact these people with posture, with a sense of urgency. Here's what you say, and I work with them a little bit on customizing their story, right? I'll give them a couple tweaks to their story to say, hey, look, here's what I want you to say, all right, as your little intro, and here's kind of a nice generic script to run on. All right, so you want to kind of, here's the script that you want to memorize, have it down smooth. I'll give them a couple different one-liners for setting appointments and inviting. But then I'll make sure that I also say, but go ahead and add this to kind of set up the conversation. And then here's what you do. And then a lot of times I'll tell them to reach out and use me for the 3-way call to help close their people. Because I want to train them, right? So I want to go ahead and spend some time with them, and I want them to hear me how I handle people on the phone. All right. Someone said, do I consider college kids prospects? Well, here's the thing. I'm glad someone considered this college kid a prospect, because someone prospected me when I was still in college, and I said yes, and I joined, and here I am today. So yes, I consider a college kid a prospect. Now, do I particularly target market them. No, I don't believe so. Here's the deal. You can get a big fish, in a small pond. You can. But would you rather have, the biggest fish, in a small pond, or would you rather, get a shark or a whale? So if you want sharks and whales, there are college kid success stories. There's lots of young millionaires out there that started in college and killed it. All right. But if you probably surveyed the industry as a whole, you'd probably find that there's a lot more people that the more influence that someone comes into the game with, the more contacts and credibility, then the better chance that they're going to have to succeed. Right. So someone in college, typically, unless they're super connected, probably has just a bunch of college kid friends like I did, and a lot of them are going to be broke, and they're not going to be the best prospects. All right, so that's kind of what I do. All right, so let's see. When calling your, let me see some questions here. When calling your target market, what's a good 30 to 60 second intro so they don't think you're a sales pitch? All right, 90 Marie, which this girl is badass. I love you, 90. You're so awesome. All right, so 90, when calling your target market, what's a good 30 to 60 second intro so that they don't think you're a sales pitch? I don't know your target market. So I don't know if we're talking, is your target market your warm market? Because that's a different, intro than if it's a cold market person. You're calling someone from a list. So it's going to depend what your product is probably, and how fast you can qualify that person. And the best way to not sound salesy, is to make sure that you're rehearsing any pitch that you have, and make sure that you just take out words that sound pitchy, right? Don't sound hypey, all right? And do the opposite of what a telemarketer would probably do. A telemarketer, if they're cold calling someone, like, hello, is this Mr. Rodriguez? And I'm already not interested, right? They've already thrown my flag. So make sure you're not throwing any flags. Be light, be joking, be unscripted. I appreciate it when someone calls me to sell me, and they're real. All right. So be real with your people. So, and again, that would be my best advice. Someone said, click on the chat box drop down to get the question mark symbol. So thank you, Ron. So Ron just, gave some advice to everyone. So if you've got a question, use that question mark. I can kind of see it a little bit easier. It tends to stand out. All right. So let's see, what else do we got? Can you share closing scripts for cold market? What do you mean by that? I'll give you a chance to maybe rephrase it. Closing scripts for cold market. You know what? Actually, I probably won't see it in this ridiculous thread of 500 people. So let's try this. Closing scripts for cold market. When I'm prospecting someone or when I'm closing? If it's a closing script, whenever I'm done, I pretty much just ask a couple of questions. Question one is, when someone's done seeing a presentation, I always ask, what did you like best? Right? And I'm always enthusiastic and I'm smiling. I'm not like, what do you like best? I'm kind of like, when I'm done, and they've just watched the video, I'm like, cool. So what do you like best about what you saw? Right? And they'll tell me why. I'm looking for their hot button. Never say, what do you think? Never ever say think. Right? They could say, I think your breath smells. I think this is interesting. Say, what did you like best? And they're going to tell you, oh, I like the money. Oh, I like the this, or I like the product, or I like the testimonials. All right. Say, okay, great. You want to dig into that. That's your hot button. Try to go 2-3 levels deep with them. Right. If they say this, I'll say, great. What else? If they give me something superficial, like, oh, I like the concept. Say, oh, how do you mean? Go into a little more detail. What else jumped off the page for you? What do you like best? That's one of my closing questions. Then I usually ask, what did you like best? And I say, did you see an opportunity for yourself? And they'll usually say, yeah, I did see an opportunity for yourself, if I'm recruiting primarily, right? And then I'll say, it's great. They'll say, yeah, I saw an opportunity for myself. And then I'll just say, great. Is there anything else you need to know before you get started? And I shake my head like that. Is there anything else you need to know before you get started? And if they say, why do I like that question? It makes them think, is there something else I need to know? It's not like, are you ready to get started? I think that's a bad question, because they can say no. And then you got to go, well, why not? Why aren't you ready? Man, forget that. That's weak, right? You're coming from a position of weakness. You're like, well, why not? I never asked why not. I don't want to be begging them for their business. I'm saying, well, hey, is there anything else you need to know? And then they're immediately have to think of a reason why they can't get started. And if they can't think of one right away, it's kind of like, hey, think of a lie. You know, and someone has to go think of a lie. Well, if you can't think of one, okay, great. You know, think of an excuse real quick. Give me an excuse. If they can't think of one, then they're like, no, nothing else I think I needed to know before I get started. You know, they have to think, what do I know? And if they can't think of something, then bam. Okay, great. So then you can assume the close. You can say, okay, great. So here's what I recommend next. Let's go ahead and get your, we're going to go ahead and get your initial paperwork done. Let's do a quick little custom overview. We'll show you can get your money made back really quick. I'm going to put you on this, proven system and plan that we have, and we'll get on track for getting your money back as soon as possible. Here's what we're going to do. Here, go ahead and let me get your information. Where do you want your welcome kit being sent to? Right? So, cool. All right. What's the best way to approach couples as single lady when prospecting? Brandon, what's the best way to approach couples as singles ladies when prospecting? Didn't understand the grammar of that question. I thought you were saying if you were a single lady, but Brandon, I doubt you're a single lady, so I'm going to have to skip your question. It's because I didn't get the grammar of it. Okay, that could be my fault. Maybe I'm reading something wrong. Let's see. I asked the question. Let's see here. Oh, someone asked a question about Reality Networker. Did my Reality Networker order go through? I don't know because I'm very focused here. If you got a confirmation and a thank you page, then it did. By the way, if you do order Reality Networker, it'll give you the opportunity to get the other 2 courses in the series. It'll have like some videos for that so that you can actually like see what they're about. So you can kind of put those videos on pause and listen to me, or you can put me on pause and then listen to that and go through that. All right. So, or actually, you know what? Let me just do this. How about I just throw it all right there on what, should I do that? You know what, let me answer another question first. I might just open up the whole thing for Reality Network or the entire series, because some of you guys may have 1 course or 2 courses, but maybe you don't have all of them. But well, let me do that later. Let me ask some more questions here. What do you say? You guys have no idea how incredibly tough this is. When I'm trying to read something and someone else texts, it like moves it. So I'm like reading stuff that's like moving literally up. I don't know why it moves down, but it's moving up and down. All right. So this is taking some time, so bear with me. Ooh, I like Phil's. Don't go anywhere, stand still. What do you say if someone is convinced that what you're doing or what you're explaining is one of those pyramid schemes? If they're convinced of it, next, right? Well, now you know what? That's not true. Because if this is someone in my network, I want to freaking fix them, right? I want to set them straight because I don't want them going to everyone else thinking that I'm in a pyramid. So at the end of the day, I don't care if they join. I'm going to stop recruiting them, but I am going to correct them, all right? And I'm going to let them know, and it just depends on what my relationship is with them, right? If it's a close friend, I might just say, dude, how long have we known each other? You seriously, you know that pyramids are illegal, right? Do you seriously think that I would be doing something illegal? Like, is that what you think of me after all these years? Do you think I'm that stupid? Do you think I'm a criminal? Is that what you're trying to tell? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Okay. And a lot of times that's going to put them on the defense. I'm going to say, no, it's not. Okay, well, listen, here's the deal. What a pyramid is, let me just educate you. I don't want you to get started with me. I don't want you to do this business. But here's what a pyramid is. With a pyramid scheme, there is no product or service being exchanged for the money. A pyramid scheme is, hey, listen, I got this business that is, hey, you give me $1,000 and here's how it works. I'm going to get 500. The guy above me is going to get 250. The guy above him is going to get 250. And that's how our little business works. So go ahead and give me $1,000. Now, that's a pyramid scheme. Did I say that to you, or did I tell you that, or did I not, or did you miss the part where we have this incredible product or this incredible service that does this, that, and the other, right? Okay, great. Well, here's the deal. Number one, we're in a legitimate business. We have a product or service that we have to offer. What we do in this network marketing model, and you may want to get educated on it before you start looking ignorant, telling other people about it, right? And saying that I'm in a pyramid, because if they're educated at all, on this industry, they're going to look at you like you're retarded. And you're my buddy, and I don't want you thinking that I'm doing something illegal. And I don't want people looking at you, even if you don't join, thinking that you're retarded. All right, so let me just correct you over here, okay? So again, that's if they're coming hostile to me, I'm going to be like, a little bit more serious, and I'm going to hit them with some oomph, right? If they're like, you're doing a pyramid, I'm going to freaking come at them with some strength, and I'm going to match and mirror them, right? And if they're like, I think you're in a pyramid scheme, I'm not going to be like, hey, let me tell you what a pyramid scheme is. First of all, you're an idiot. I'm not going to do that, right? I'm going to match and mirror my prospect. All right. So I'm going to correct them. I'll educate them on what a pyramid actually is. I'll explain the difference, and I'll say, listen, man, what we do, all right, is no more a pyramid than what your job is. Let me ask you something. You're getting paid what per hour? Okay, great. If you're getting paid this per hour, do you think that there's someone that's making more money off of what you do for your company than what they're paying you? Yeah, absolutely. All right. That difference is called an override. Right? They're paying you $15 an hour. They're probably making $50 an hour. You're probably contributing to $50 an hour off of your sweat, blood, and tears every hour that you work. If not, you wouldn't have a job. They'd be going upside down on you. And the minute they go in the negative for employing you, you're fired. You have no security. All right. So guess what? That person above you, think about car sales, think about insurance sales. I'm going to correct them. Say, look, in real estate, there's an agent and a broker. Agent sells a house. Guess what? He gets a piece of that money. So does the broker. Right? That's an override. How many agents can a real estate, broker recruit? As many as they want. So is real estate a scam? Is that a pyramid? How about insurance? How about car sales? So let's be real. Every sales organization in the world gets an override, all right, off of somebody's effort. If you're selling something, somebody's making something off that sale. And it goes all the way up to the top. The difference is to get to the top, what's the chance of you starting at the bottom and being the owner? Very slim, right? Here, all right, you can start at the bottom and hit the top of our compensation plan and build your own team. All right, so pyramid or not, you're in a pyramid. The government's is in a pyramid. All right, everything in America, just about every job, has some type of pyramid structure. So boom. So I'm not in a pyramid scheme. All right, I'm in a business that's legitimate. Duh. All right, so again, that's how I might handle that. But again. If it's someone soft, I'm not going to come like that, right? So I think the thing is a lot of people, they see how I handle stuff and they go, I could never do that. Just understand, I'm not like this all the time. Like I'm very soft with people if they're like that. All right. So Cesar, the new comments are on the bottom of the page. So you have to scroll down to see the older ones. Oh, at the top is the new ones? Oh, that's cool. I thought it was the other way around. So wait a second. Oh yeah, maybe you're right. Gosh, you are so smart. I love that people are teaching me how to use this platform I'm on. All right, some ideas for presenting. So thank you very much. Whoever just said that, I lost your comment, but you're awesome. All right, boom, someone said boom. Thank you, sir. All right, what approach would you use when approaching college students? All right, oh, just broadcasted the wrong one. Junior, stand still. All right. What approach would you use if you were prospecting college students? So how long have I been here? All right, cool. So college students, junior, I would just ask them what their plans are, after school. What are you going to school for? All right, great. What are you trying to, do when you get out of here? What are your goals? And then I would try to find a problem, with that. Say, hey, great. Well, look, are you working a job now? And say, okay, great. You want to do this? And I'm going to just store that information and say, oh, I want to be a, marine biologist. And be like, oh man, so what's the competition for that field? Is it pretty easy? Is it, you got something lined up already? Have you done a couple of internships in the industry already? And be like, well, no. It's like, okay, well, do you have some good connections in that industry, or are you just kind of counting on your diploma to get you there? Oh, just my diploma. It's like, okay, cool. Awesome. I'm just going to store that. Right, and I'm going to say, so tell me, so what are you doing now in school? So you're just focusing on school? Do you have a part-time job? I might hit them with going like long-term and trying to say, look, man, you might want to get, especially if their job is going to maybe involve any type of degree of if there's any benefit that being in network marketing would give them, like on their resume, for example, let's say they say, oh, I want to go into, business management, or I want to do pharmaceutical sales. I'm going to say, okay, that's a great job, man. Yeah, lots of people, I hear that's pretty competitive. It could be pretty good. Why do you want to do that? I'm going to find out what they like, what maybe they don't like. I'm listening to them. I say, great. So, obviously you got pretty good grades here. Do you have some connections? Do you have some good grades here? What are your connections looking like? Do you have some connections in the industry? How'd you hear about that? Yeah, what made you want to do it most? Say, well, listen, here's the deal. It sounds to me like if you want to get in something like that, you're going to need more than just a degree and, background in science or whatever. Do you have any sales experience? They're going to say, oh, no. Well, are you planning on getting some while you're in college to kind of beef up your resume for your interviews? And then they'll probably say, well, yeah, I guess that would make sense. Say, okay, well, I happen to work with a company that actually teaches people sales, and I happen to work in an organization, and one of the things they do is they've got amazing sales training. It's a great resume booster, and it's pretty cool because you could actually get some real world experience that'll tee you up to help you get that job better, and you can actually get paid some pretty good money doing it too. I don't know, are you keeping your options open at all to other things? Right? So what did we do? We just helped to solve a problem for them, right? We're beefing up their resume, helping them to make money. Oh, and by the way, one of the reasons I like it is because it's real flexible. It fits within my schedule, and they're actually willing to work with people on their time. So pretty cool, huh? So again, I can maybe refer you in. I mean, I don't know. Do you keep your options open? Maybe I can help you out. So boom. That's how I might handle a college student. All right, cool. Next question. How do you personally handle negative people? Let's tackle Patrick's. Patrick Rivera, get some water. Throat's gonna die here. I'm like not breathing. I'm just going hard. Patrick Rivera, how do you personally handle negative people in meetings whose energy is off and they're bringing down others? I'm already wanting to say kick them out of the meeting, but let me finish answering this question. I've learned if they get belligerent, you must remove them from the group. Oh, you're one step ahead of me. I've heard they can also be your greatest asset if you use them properly. That's true, Patrick. If you get someone that's, if you get someone, like, it depends. Like if you're doing a group sale meeting, right? Like, one of the things that I used to do is I used to occasionally do group sales, right? So I'd be talking to like a room of people, like selling my company's product. And at the time it was legal services, and we'd go into companies. And if there was someone that was kind of an alpha and kind of a smart ass, or whatever, and I could kind of pick up on that pretty quick, I would try to go ahead and win that person over, if I could, by cracking a joke back at them, or maybe by saying something like, hey, listen, hey, look, man, do you mind if I ask you, for a quick favor? And I try to do this before the meeting even starts. So I try to kind of find out, who's there and, who's what. And I say, hey, would you mind helping me to pass these out to everyone? And then as soon as they do, if they say, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And I'll be like, hey, man, and I'll show them some love really quick, right? I'll be like, hey guys, really quick, I want to get, let's say Patrick, you are the negative person. Say, hey, well, Patrick, would you mind doing me a favor, man? I heard that you are actually kind of a leader in this organization here. A lot of people look up to you. Do you mind just helping me out and, passing a couple of these applications out? And they might go, oh, well, yeah, I am. And then I'm going to say, okay, great. Hey guys, I just want, Patrick's going to come up and help me to pass these out really quick and pass out these brochures or these applications. Thank you so much, Patrick. I appreciate your help so much. And I'm going to show them some love in front of everyone, and that might neutralize them. And if it's like an in-home meeting and someone's negative, I'll just move them out and say, hey, listen, man, look, this isn't for everyone. We're only looking for the lookers. If this isn't for you, man, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming out. I can see this probably isn't going to be a fit. So, go, great meeting you. Have a great day. You're free to go, and I'll eject them. All right. What do I say to someone says that, okay, there's another Cesar, all right, out there saying, what do you say when someone says, I don't know anyone? I'm presuming you're talking about like a new rep and they're going, oh, I don't know anyone. I don't have any people on my list. Well, number one, I'm going to challenge that a little bit, by asking them some questions. I'm going to say, hey, listen, you don't know anyone, right? So let me see your cell phone real quick. Pull out your cell phone. I'm going to see how many numbers do you have stored in your cell phone? You're on Facebook, right? Let me see your Facebook. How many friends do you have on there? Holy moly, who are all these people? You don't know them, but they accepted your friend request. Well, I mean, they think they know you, right? So, and if not, they at least thought you were cool enough to get to know, so, hey, we got a whole bunch of people there. And that'll usually kind of start to reframe them. And then I'll also, ask them questions. Say, hey, listen, you drive a car? Where did you get your car? Who sold it to you? Do you get your hair cut? Who's your barber? Who's your hairstylist? How about that person? They're connected. Hey, you have insurance? Who do you buy your insurance from? Who do you know that's in sales? So start asking them questions like that. All right. So I'm going to start to open them up. How do you step out of your comfort zone and crush the opportunity that network marketing provides? Boom, Mark. You want to know how to step out of your comfort zone, buddy? I think I'm going to have to give you guys the B10XB talk. I think I'm going to have to do it. Thanks so. Those of you guys that have heard the B10XB training, you think I'm going to have to go a little B10 times bolder on Mark here? All right. Just grasp it all in. All right. I'm going to give you my hack and my trick for helping people, to step out of their comfort zone. All right. One of the biggest things that I discovered for myself is when I was in this industry and I was starting out, I was I felt sometimes crippled by fear and anxiety and apprehension. So when I started to learn a little bit about NLP, all right, neuro-linguistic programming, and how your mind works and where fear and anxiety and those things come from, it typically comes from previous experiences that you had, right? So, you know, for example, if you are scared of rejection, it's because there was a time in your life where you maybe went up to somebody, right, when you were young. Like, let's just pretend you're like, you know, you're like first grade. There's a little girl, you like her, right? You know, and then Mark, you look at that girl and she's really cute and you want to go say something to her and you do, and she goes, ew, get away from me, you have cooties, right? So here's what ends up happening is all of a sudden that happens and you go, oh my God, ouch, that hurt. Because psychologically, something just got burned in your brain. And listen, you don't ever forget. You may not consciously remember everything, but everything is stored up in this thing like a master computer. It never forgets anything. That's why people can recall license plates that they saw under hypnosis, right? You didn't realize that you took a look at that license plate and memorized it consciously, but a hypnotist can go inside your mind and can say, I want you to put yourself, they can put you back there and have you say, what do you see? Do you remember that license plate now? I mean, police do that sometimes, all right? That's like a known tactic. Everything is up in here, right? It's just repressed sometimes. So here's what ends up happening, all right? You have all of these experiences, especially when you're new and you're in network marketing. The first time you try going out to do cold market prospecting and you're going to approach people, guess what? You're not trained, so you're not experienced. And what ends up happening is you fumble on your words, you mess up, all right? And unless you've got some type of track record, because maybe you were just like some super good looking stud or studette your whole life and you've just always been good with talking to people and no one ever has rejected you. Maybe your story is, hey, I'm fearless, no one ever rejects me, so you don't have a problem going up to people. And you know, because that's what your pattern of your entire life has been win after win after win when it comes to dealing with people in the cold market. But for most people in the world, that's not their reality. All right, so what ends up happening is you go out there and you go to approach somebody, and because you're new, you fumble on your words, you're in a new business, you're talking to someone for the first time, you get emotionally scarred because they reject you and they look at you like, no, what do you, get away from me? And now you're like, and all of a sudden you've been stung. And your brain, one of the things that your subconscious mind does is it wants to constantly protect you. So it wants to keep you nice and comfortable, all right, in your comfort zone. And so what ends up happening is when you go to see that opportunity to go to prospect that person, for example, you start to clam up. When you want to pick up that phone, guys, and you get nervous, you start to clam up because you're really like thinking, oh my God, what if they say no? I've been rejected before. Rejection hurts your psyche. So what happens is you've linked pain to the inactivity of being bold. You've linked pain to going out there, or you link pain to being bold and going outside of your comfort zone. So you go to do that, and this little voice inside your head, which I call the weakness, starts screaming at you and starts going, what? Don't go talk to that person. They're going to reject you. You're an idiot. You're not wearing the right clothes. You're not dressed right. You're not, what if they ask you how much you've been and you've been a failure for your past 50 exposures? You get this little voice that says, it's not a good time. Do it later. Do it later. And it just beats you down. And just like, until you're like, okay, fine, I won't do anything. And then you're paralyzed and you miss out on the greatest opportunities in your life. See, everything that's happened good in your life, and I'm talking to every single person watching this, if you think about everything that you're excited about in your life, it came as a result of a bolder moment, right? There was a fork in the road and you could have gone weak and taken the path most traveled, right? Or you could have been strong and you could have stepped up, and you did. That's why you're in the business you're in. If you're in a happy relationship, that's why you're in the happy relationship you're in, right? You stepped up when you had that opportunity and said, I could go not talk to that person, or I am going to talk to that person. I could sign this application. I could not sign this application. And everything you're excited about came from the result of a bolder moment, right? So what we need to do is we need to change the wiring in your head that goes fear. If you see an opportunity and you pass up on it, you're safe, pleasure, and if you take advantage of it, potential pain. So your brain has made neuroassociation. So what we need to do is we need to crisscross those wires and we need to flip them. All right. So what we do is we need to start linking pain to the inactivity of being bold. So how do you do that? That's why I came up with this whole concept and this pattern interrupt, which is you ask yourself a question, right? If some of you guys, I'm talking and you're still firing questions, I can't even look at that chat box, because if I ask a question, if I read your question, I'm asking a question and I'll lose my train of thought. So what you have to do is if you have a weak pattern of thought, you have to interrupt it. And the way that you interrupt it is by asking yourself a question in the middle of the weakness puking on you. So when you're in that moment, all right, and you want to take advantage of some opportunity, you want to crush it by prospecting someone, by picking up the phone and calling that whale, you got to ask yourself a question when that weakness starts going, you can't do it. It's not a good idea. You don't know what to say. You ask yourself this pattern interrupt question. And the question is the B10XB pattern interrupt question. And it is, what would you do if you were 10 times bolder? Take a look at this hat right here. What would you do if you were 10 times bolder? So you just want to ask yourself that question. All right. You ask yourself the B10XB pattern interrupt question. It's like, and I created these little wristbands. Don't worry, they're coming soon. All right, let me put that up so you guys can actually register and get the full training on that I do. Now, I did a stage presentation on B10XB. Let me load that up for you. That you guys can actually hop on the waiting list for the clothing line. That's why I'm rocking this gear. All right, and you'll actually get a free training just for going on it. And or for when you register, you'll see a stage presentation of me doing the B10XB talk, and it's so awesome. All right, but I created these little wristbands, and it's kind of like, remember the what would Jesus do wristbands is like, you know, what would Jesus do this question? You just look at B, it says B10XB, and it just reminds you to say, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? So you look at yourself and say, hey, you know what? I'm about to wuss out on prospecting this person. Look at your wrist and say, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? And whatever you do, and whatever you come up with, it's going to interrupt that puke, right? So you're going to be like, you can't do it. You can't wait. What would I do if I was 10 times bolder? You just look up at my hat here. What would I do if I was 10 times? If I was 10 times bolder, man, I would go right up to that person. I'd say, hey, man, hang up the phone. You got a quick second? I got to ask you a question. You know, you're dressed to the nines. You're in my side of town. What do you do, man? I thought I knew everyone in this area, but I've never seen you before. What do you do? Are you from around here? Right? Bam. And there are like, whoa, who the hell are you? You know everyone in this town. You're pretty connected. What? You've already established posture. You've interrupted their pattern. You know, boom, you're right into it. That's what you do if you were 10 times bolder. And if you don't do the thing that you come up with, because you're going to answer, if you ask yourself a question, you're going to come up with something, right? You know, if you ask yourself a question, you're going to come up with an answer. And then what's going to happen is that weakness can say, no, you shouldn't do that. That's inappropriate. But if you listen to that weakness, what you have to do is you pull back on this little B10XB band and you snap. And you link pain to the inactivity of being bold. So the next time you look at that phone and you want to pick up the phone and you want to call someone and you're like, you know, here's a prospect, let me call him. Oh, you know, I don't know. You say, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? If I was 10 times bolder, I'd pick up that freaking phone and I'd call that person right now. And then you go, well, I'm on an empty stomach right now. Let me go ahead and, you know, carbo load, then I'll get back and do it. You copped out, you better earn, you just got the slapped. You just got B10XB slapped, right? And you got to do it to yourself and make it hurt. And what your brain is going to do is it's going to go, ooh, ouch. Shock. It's like shock therapy. There's pain to the inactivity of being bold. And now your brain is, next time you get an opportunity, instead of you going, oh, I better go carbo load, I better go eat something, or oh, maybe it's not the appropriate time to call that person. Just the same way that you don't realize why you're scared now when you go to prospect someone, you just are, so you just don't. You're not going to realize in the future after stinging yourself enough times, giving yourself some self-shock therapy, you're not going to realize that when you go to talk to that person, why you're acting so bold, because your subconscious mind behind the scenes is just going to go talk to that person, or we're about to experience pain. And then you've literally rewired yourself. So that's where the B10XB concept came out from. That's where it came from. All right. And that was a training that I used to do. It's something that I did for myself. And that's why, you know, this clothing, you know, it says be 10 times bolder all over it, and it's got B10XB. That's why I created, you know, the whole concept. And then I said to myself, I said, everyone keeps asking me for these wristbands. And I said, you know what I need to do? I need to come out with these wristbands. And then I asked myself, well, you know, if I'm gonna get a fulfillment center and I'm gonna do shipping and I'm gonna do this, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder? Well, if I was 10 times bolder, I'd come out with, you know, maybe some shirts to go with the wristbands. And I said, if I was 10 times, no, if I was 10 times bolder, I'd come out with hats, come out with hoodies. I'd launch a whole clothing line. I'd come after Under Armour, right? I would come up with the sickest gear, and I'm gonna make this thing so big that Nike and Under Armour say, we need to buy this company because they're scaring us. They're coming for our market share. If I was 10 times bolder, that's what I would do. So that's what I'm in the midst of doing right now. All right, and that's why it's taken a minute for this stuff to come your way. But when it does, you know it's going to be legit, dry fit stuff. I've already got a bunch of the apparel and the clothing and the hats. Look, we got the hot pink, right, for the ladies out there. Or actually, I kind of like the hot pink, man. I might just rock this for the rest of the webinar. Or, you know, we got the black and white. I got also, these are just the trucker hats, right? But I also got, you know, flat brim snapbacks and all kinds of stuff. you know, but that's what I'm doing. I'm launching an entire clothing line, no experience in the industry, but I know how to be bold. I've already got the fan base of people like you guys that I know you want this gear just looking at it, right? Because it's, you know, hot to death, right? You know, and I want to change lives, man. You know, but if I was 10 times bolder, that's what I would do. I'd step up my vision, and that's what I've done. So does that answer your question, Mark? And everyone else, everyone that had a question about fear, anxiety, how do I do it? I think I just answered all of your questions in that one thing. Am I right? Does that deserve a mic drop or what? Boom. All right, be 10 times bolder. You can see how passionate I am about it. All right, kaboom. Thank you so much, Dennis. All right, you need the hot pink visors for girls. All right, Angie, well, you know, this is what we're kind of testing out, you know, so I got the flat brim snapbacks over there too. They don't look as good. I'm not a, you know, I don't think the you know, the flat brim snapbacks look as good on me. I see other people wear them, and I'm just like, damn, I wish my head looked like that, because apparently it doesn't. Need to hook a brother up. Hey, if you guys want to be on the freaking front lines of the waiting list, because here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a launch for it within the next couple months, right? And you're going to see this thing, and you're going to have your opportunity to get it like one time right off the bat, just like I did with my launch. Because I got to, I'm going to order specifically for you. You know, I'm going to request orders, and I'm going to give out like on the opening line. You know, when I launch this clothing line, you know, I'm going to go ahead and launch stuff. So you want to be like first on the line, so we don't sell out before you get a chance to have it, right? So cool. So just pop in your email, and you'll get the free training on the thank you page for you know, for B10XB. All right, so let's see. All right, if I'm a guy, I'll rock the hot pink. I appreciate that, man. Dude, listen, real men wear pink, man. That's like a sign of confidence. You know, it's like, look, man, I don't care what you think. I'm freaking, you know, you think I'm fruity or something because I'm wearing pink. I'm all about that, dude. I used to rock pink ties all the time, but I don't really wear ties anymore because, you know, I'm job free, and, you know, what the heck, you know, I don't need to impress anybody. And I bought a custom suit, and then I realized, I was like, dude, I don't even have any opportunities to wear this. So now, like, whenever I speak, I'm like wearing a suit sometimes now, because I'm like, I guess that'll get some miles out of this thing, right? Is the B10XB free training work? Yeah, dude, just watch the training. It's like live. So that was Robert. Do you tell new dealers someone's to do the memory jogger? Yeah, I do. Actually, I've got memory joggers for our team. When someone joins, yeah, we do have a memory jogger sheet. For those of you that don't know what memory joggers are, they are, it's just like a list of, like, you know, like who do you know that, and it has a whole bunch of professions to just jog people's memories for their names of their list. So let's get Liz right here. Okay, Liz, let me take a quick little drink. Gotta protect the throat over here. I'm gonna be in Key West for the weekend, talking and having fun with a bunch of, you know, millionaires. All right, want to make sure I'm social, not just in the corner like I can't talk. Some suggestions for when your upline doesn't do three ways, you don't have credibility, and your company video isn't as inspiring as it could be. Dang, Liz, let me ask you something, girl. Do you keep your options open? Because our company video is the bomb. No, I'm just kidding. Totally. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. You got to have fun, right? You got to have fun. All right. And that's like the type of stuff that if those of you that really know me, you guys know that I'm off the chain. All right. I don't know why someone over here is putting their email. Chris, don't get deleted, buddy. You know, I don't know why you put your email on there. I hope that wasn't for spam purposes, telling people to email you. All right. So, so here is what I would say. Some suggestions for when your upline doesn't do three ways. You don't have credibility. And I'm just gonna skip about like the company video thing. If your company video sucks, then don't use it. The first company that I was in, I got in and we had tape cassettes, right? Like VHSs. We had one, it was the #1 money earner. He did a video. It was like, I don't know, 45 minutes. It was kind of long to me. I just looked at it, and this was way back in the day, right? We're talking like 14 years ago. And I was like, some of you, what's a VHS player? So I'm dating myself here. So 14 years ago, I'm like 21, 22 years old. The company's got this video. I didn't like it. I just thought, you know, this isn't going to be that good. It takes too long to get to the point. I know it's working for a lot of people, but I'm prospecting younger people, and I don't feel like this is going to relate to them. So what I did is, instead of using that video, we also had a company video that we could use, or we had like a flip chart. So I just instead started doing flip chart presentations. Today, in my day and age, this day and age, I recommend using third-party tools for everything. A flip chart is a third-party tool, but if you got a video, I would use the video. If your video sucks and you really feel like it sucks, then don't use it. Just go ahead and use a good solid flip chart presentation and just do it yourself. If you don't have the credibility, then give yourself the credibility, right? Who says that you don't have credibility? You or your prospect? Because your prospect doesn't know everything about you, you know? And even if your prospect is in your warm market and they do know a lot about you, they don't know the new you. They don't know what you're about to do. Your confidence is what creates the credibility. Now, if you get the course that I created, the Immediate Yes Formula, I'll pop that back up. In my Immediate Yes Formula course, one of the things that you do, one of the things that I do, and I'll post this up for just a couple of minutes here, I teach you exactly how to do what you're asking, like how to close, how to create trust and credibility with any prospect in like record time. You may want to pick up that course. It's $147. I just popped it up, so maybe you see it somewhere on the sidebar. You know, Beast Mode Bailey, by the way, if you can do a screenshot, you know, Bailey's like my homegirl. I would love to see what this looks like on your screen because I have no idea what you guys are looking at when I pop this stuff up. I don't know. Do you still see the chat box and the pop-up? I don't know what happens. But I'd love to see a screenshot of what you guys are seeing right now. All right. And let me actually switch. We're gonna go to the black and white hat here. We're gonna get hardcore. All right. So here's the deal. All right. What I think that you should do is establish your own credibility. You can build up another third-party expert, but you don't have to go to them. So for example, one of the things that I would do is I would talk to people and say, hey, listen, here's the deal. Let's get together. We'll sit down. We'll talk for a couple minutes. If you like what you see, best thing I can do is I'll put in a good word with my senior partner, Mr. Gregory. That was my upline. And then what I would do is I would take that prospect through the entire exposure process and I would talk about, you know, my senior partner, but I wouldn't even ever bring him in. You know, at the end of the day, I would get him right down the line and say, hey, look, I want to call Mr. Gregory to get the final approval. You know, for you to go ahead and get started, you know, but, you know, if you can't, or let me just find out before I pick up the phone and call him, is there anything else, you know, I want to bring him on the phone, but you know what, let me ask you something. I don't want to make you look bad in front of him. Is there anything else that you need to know, or are you ready to get started and you're hoping that he's going to say yes and allow you to join the team or whatever, you know? And then if he says, oh, no, I'm ready to go, you know, then cool. What's going to end up happening is I will just say, well, let's just go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and get your paperwork taken care of. I'm going to call him up and I'm going to go ahead and let him know that you're just joining the team. All right. And that you're so excited that I couldn't even stop you from joining because you were like tackling me to join. All right. So this is pretty cool. Beast Mode Bailey just texted me a picture. You're so awesome, Beast Mode Bailey. All right. So cool. But can you still see the chat when that happens? I'm curious about that. Oh, you guys can actually like and share this. That's awesome, dude. Hit the like and share that. I can see this is being shared like 200 some times. That's awesome. All right, 8 tweets. I guess you guys aren't Twitter heads. So if you got Twitter, tweet this out. I know you can tweet this broadcast out and definitely share this. You know, click the share button, man. So I see that, Bailey. You text me a screenshot. You're awesome. But that's what I would do. You know, I would just lean on and talk about your expert, but then just go ahead and get them signed up before they even talk to them. All right. Say, look, why don't we just do this? I could get you on the phone, but it's better to ask for forgiveness than it is permission. Why don't we just go ahead and get you started? Then I'll use that and tell them how fired up you are, that I couldn't even stop you from joining. You're the exact type of person that they're going to want to talk to and work with. All right, boom. All right. So was that just freaking, is the Immediate Yes Formula covered in the full Network Marketer Mastery program? No, the Immediate Yes Formula, the Immediate Yes Formula course is different from Reality Networker. The Reality Networker series. As a matter of fact, I'm about to go ham right here. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the, all right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take down the Immediate Yes Formula. So click it now. I'm going to take it down in a second, and I'm going to open up the cart and show you guys the full Reality Networker series. So you guys can pick from any of the courses in the series, and I'll tell you what that, so basically Reality Networker, for those of you that don't know, or if you're just tuning in, that was my pet project. That was like my passion project where I wanted to create a reality TV show style course that like literally showed exactly what I did, not just theory. So it's live footage of me prospecting people. That's prospecting mastery. The next part is calling and closing mastery. So that's one course. You know, that course, all right, is prospecting mastery. The next course is calling and closing mastery, right? So we prospect all the people. then what do we got to do next? Then we got to, you know, work on inviting, following up, closing, and presenting, right? That's calling and closing mastery. That course, it's 9 hours, all right, or not 9 hours, it's 4.5 hours of me making phone calls. Let me go ahead and pop that up on the screen. I put together a special bundle where you guys can get the entire deal. So you can get all of the courses within the series. So I wanted to just go ahead and kind of phase out some of the weak people that, you know, just hopped on and hopped off real quick. But you guys have been on here with me for a while. I'm seeing, you know, close to 400 people here, or 350 some people. You guys have stayed on. So I'm going to reward you guys and let you guys have the opportunity to pick up the courses in this series. All right. And leadership mastery, there's a little description. If you click right now, I just popped it up. Click on the sidebar. You can click to add that to cart, and you'll be able to customize your order. And I put together a payment plan where you could get all of them, and I think it's like for $248 a month for the next 3 months, or you can just pay in full for $791 for all of them. Now, I want you to understand something. If you're out there and you're one of those people that's thinking, oh gosh, you know, $791, that's a lot of money. You know, I don't know. Let me just kind of put something in perspective, because, you know, I can kind of hear where you're at. That would have been a lot of money for me starting off back in the day, you know, but there's two things. There's price and cost, right? You know, what something, you know, with the price of something, there's a cost if you do, there's a cost if you don't. Everything in life has a price, right? Every decision you make has a price. There's a repercussion for it. All right. So keeping the money in your bank account, there's sure some comfort to that. But if you've got the money in your bank account, you know, and your goal is to hold on to as much of it as you can, you know, then that's having a lack mentality. For me, I wanted to create something that replicated what someone would have to pay me $5,000 to $10,000 to get. And we do these things called power weekends, right? You know, so don't have any on the books, can't do any of them now. All right, but I'm not the only person that does them. Lots of people do that. They'll charge $5,000, $10,000, but they won't even do a fraction of what I'm about to do for you inside of this course. What I did was, it cost me far more than $5,000 to $10,000. It was a price for picking up and breaking my lease and getting a U-Haul truck and moving to Wilmington, North Carolina, where I live now, because that's where my mentor lived. All right, he had a beach house on the ocean front, and I wanted to basically shadow him, because I hit and I don't know if you've ever felt this way, but have you ever felt like you've kind of hit the wall for what you can kind of, like, you're trying to learn and people are telling you stuff, and then you go to implement it and like you still don't get the result? And you're just like, man, what gives? Like, why is it not working for me the way it's working for Cesar? You know, why is it not working for me the way it seems to be working for everyone else? Well, here's the thing. A lot of times when people are teaching you, even when I teach scripts, right? You know, it's one thing for me to give somebody a script, but it's another thing for you to see how it works in the field, because I can give you a script, but if someone asks you a question that you aren't prepared for, because you've never seen how it's been handled properly, then you're going to get slapped in the face. And if you don't know how to answer back or how to avoid, it's like getting into a fight. You know, if you go out there and you get into a fist fight with someone, and, you know, you're not trained, and the only training that you get is I say, hey, look, if you're going to get into a fight, here's what you want to do. You know, put up your arms here, and then you want to cock back. All right. If you want to get a little more power, you want to throw your hip into it, and you want to go like this. You want to twist up, and boom, you want to hit them. Well, that's all well and good, but what happens if the person tackles you, right? And you're on the ground and you're like this? Well, this exactly might not work, right? You know, you might need to learn how to put them in a headlock or do a submission hold or something else. You might need, you know, a few wrestling moves. So it's kind of like Mike Tyson said. He said, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Right? I love that quote by Tyson, right? You know, everyone's got to play. Everyone comes in and, like, think about fighting Ronda Rousey, right? I mean, I just saw the last Ronda Rousey fight. Like, her fights end in seconds. They don't even make it to the second round, right? Everyone's got a plan of how they're going to take her out, and then she just comes and crushes them. So what you need to do is you need to prepare by getting real training and seeing both sides of the equation, not just scripts and theories all the time. So I do my best to make sure that everything I give you every possible angle way that I can go. But at the end of the day, the strongest thing that you can do for yourself is give yourself the benefit of seeing that in action. So that's what I decided to do, and that's why I created Reality Networker. So it's live footage of me prospecting. Then once we prospect people, you get to see, me make phone calls, and it's 4 hours of audios that you can download. So it's like 16 or 21 different audios that you can like listen to, and it's me calling prospects, answering objections, closing, presenting, how I customize my pitch, sell myself, sell the opportunity, and it's all generic. So I've wiped clean, any references of, my company name, how much it is to get started, websites, all of that has been professionally like muted out and like, blanked out or beeped out. So it's generic. So if you're in health and wellness, if you're in travel, if you're in, any type of industry, legal services, insurance services, it'll still benefit you. You'll still be able to pick up nuggets. And then leadership mastery is 9 hours of me, of basically me coaching my team and teaching exactly, how to master every area of the business. So how I get reps started right, how I promote events, how I do everything. So people say, hey, Cesar, I'll pay for your $1,000 an hour for coaching. It's more than worth it. Honestly, you'd probably be ripping yourself off if you didn't own leadership mastery first, because chances are, all right, within those 9 hours of coaching calls, all right, and videos as well, I probably answered the question that you're going to ask. A lot of questions, all right, that you guys are asking me right now, I've already answered inside of, leadership mastery. But instead of it being like a 3-minute answer, it's like a 20-minute in-depth psychology of why the things that I say work and why they don't and where to go. You hear how I teach people how to customize your own pitch. A lot of you guys, you don't even know how to sell your own story. You're doing it all wrong. And you're doing it the way that your company teaches you, sadly. You're doing it the way that your upline teaches you, which is sad. And you're doing the company formatted ways, but it doesn't work for everyone. It's like going to a place and just buying a suit off the rack. Well, you can get a suit off the rack and it might fit you a little bit, but it's not going to be tailored to you. And if you want to learn how to tailor your own story, listen to the formula that I teach other people how to do it. If you want to get more reps to the events, listen to me actually pitching my team on going to events. Listen to when they say, oh, I can't go, I don't have the money, there's no way I can get out of work. Listen to the stories that I say and how it changes in their mind, and they go, you know what, you're right, Cesar, I'm booking my ticket right now. So I do that over and over and over again on like so many of those coaching calls. So you can go ahead and do that, guys, and click, I just threw it up. You can get all the courses I've never been able to do this before, but there's a 3-payment option for all of the courses, which is killer. And if there's any course that you don't want to get because let's say you already own it, all right, well then you can just go ahead and adjust the quantity to 0, or just hit the remove button under the course, and then that will adjust the cart, and then you can pick up whatever you want. I mean, to be real, I launched this course last month. I closed the cart on the 2nd, so the cart has been closed for over 20 days, and you can't buy it ever, like outside of that time until I relaunch it and open up the cart again, which the last time I did that was 6 months ago. So some of you guys, if you don't get it tonight or you don't get it on this while watching this training by clicking the add to cart button, it might be 6 months before you get your opportunity again. I don't know. All right. So, but I want to do something special for everyone that hung in here with me, so you guys can go ahead and get that course if you want to. So that's it. So again, I don't want to do like a huge deal on it. We're not going to go on and on. It's there. If you want it, pick it up. Great. The point of this was not to pitch you guys on buying my courses. It's just to I want to give resources for you, because guess what? When I'm done with this webinar, if you guys still want some of this Cesar goodness, it doesn't have to stop, right? You can go right back over there and get it. All right. So let's go back to answering some questions. So I hope that's cool with you guys. So let's see. Can you get Reality Networker Leadership Mastery itself? Yes, John, you can. Just go to that page and then adjust the or just click, there's a remove button. There's instructions. Go to the page. There's instructions at the top of the order form that says if there's one course you don't want to get or 2 courses you don't want to get, just click the remove button underneath it. But do be sure, because once you click remove, it's gone from that cart and you can't add it back. You'll have to re-come in and click on the link. And if you refresh the page, even that's not going to work. You'll have to literally re-click on the link in this pop-up, John. So if you want to get that course, I recommend it. People ask me all the time, if I could only get 1 course, what should I get? I'll tell you this, Bailey, who works, works with me, Beast Mode Bailey, you've heard me shout her out a couple times. She helps to run our Instagram page, kind of like as her social media manager. As a reward, I wanted to give her one of our courses, and out of all of the courses that I gave her, she bought the Immediate Yes formula herself, so she owned that one. I think that's like an awesome, badass course to have, for starting block. But I said, you know what? Here, out of all the courses that I had, I said, I'm going to give you leadership mastery, because for $297 value-wise, it's 9 hours of training, and it literally answers questions on every area of the business. So someone calls me up and they say, Cesar, I'm struggling. I ran out of people to talk to. How do I do cold market prospecting? Well, it's me talking to that person for like 30 minutes saying, here's exactly what you do. Here's how I do it. And you know, if I'm talking to my team, I'm not holding back, right? You know, I'm telling them everything because I want them to be as good as me and then better than me. I'm trying to raise proteges to surpass me for the people on my team. All right. You know, so obviously I'm going full tilt on every coaching session. You know, it's just like, it's epic. All right. So that's the course that I chose. If someone could only get one and you wanted the most, like if you wanted something that would help you with every area, that's the course that, because I talk about how to get rep. You hear me getting my rep started right. You hear me giving prospecting training. You hear me teaching stuff on takeaways. You hear me teaching, you know, all of my methods, you know, for inviting, handling the spouse objection, handling this objection. So that's probably the best one. But if you really want something that's just focused on prospecting, then definitely Prospecting Mastery is the most fun course you'll ever get on prospecting, and the most psychologically like badass course ever. And Calling and Closing Mastery, if you really want help inviting, following up, closing, handling objections, that's the course for you. All right. So cool deal. All right. Let's see. Damiano asks, how do I get past gatekeepers when cold calling? Here's the deal. I don't know what business you're in, brother. You know, but the thing that I would do is just be different. You know, be different. If you're talking to a gatekeeper and I don't know what you're pitching and what the scenario is, that's a very tough question to just try to give you some generic advice, you know, to try and give you like a generic way to handle it. But the thing that I would do is make sure you don't sound like a gatekeeper, or make sure you don't sound like a salesperson, because the gatekeeper's job is to keep you away from talking to the decision maker. So what you need to do is you need to break through. You need to act like you already know the decision maker. You need to act like, you know, you've got like you're calling them back. I mean, figure something out. Again, I don't want to tell you to do some, you know, shady stuff out there, you know, on what to say or what to do. You know, I don't get the name. I don't understand what you're doing, your business specifics. But that would be my biggest tip, is make sure you don't sound like a salesperson. All right. So whatever that means in your industry, how you can take that, make sure you don't sound salesy. Don't say, hey, is Mr. Spencer there? You know, and don't do that. Just be like, hey, what's going on? Listen, I'm trying to catch up with I'm trying to catch up with Spence. Spencer, is he available? You know, real quick. Hey, how's it going, Judy? Awesome to talk to you. Hey, listen, real quick, is my boy Spencer around? You know, I mean, that might just throw him off. Like, oh, what salesperson would call like that? And she's like, oh no, he's in a meeting. It's like, all right, cool. Hey, look, no big deal. You know what time he's gonna be? I try leaving him a message, but we keep playing phone tag or whatever. You know, is there a time where you think he'll be available? I'll just try to call him back then. Maybe you can patch me through, you know, if he's not busy, you know? Just be cool, man. All right. Let's see. How do you break the fear on approaching people? John, I did a training on that a minute ago for B10XB, if you want to break your fear for approaching people. For those of you that you missed it, just look at my shirt, B10XB.com. Go to B10XB, just then .com in your browser on a new window, and you will be able to hop on the wait list. Someone told me that the link may have been broken when I posted that one. So it's possible I may have made a mistake. Again, new platform, it's kind of new to me. If I made a mistake on that, just you know, type in the correct. You got a cheat sheet right here in my hat and my shirt. All right, so go there. So that's that question. All right, so let's go ahead and kill that one. Let's see. What do you say if someone asks you what you do? Okay, where did you go, Patrick? All right, advice on how to approach couples as a single person. Oh, I want to get that one too. So let me make sure I don't forget this one. I like your question there, Brandon. But let's go ahead. Patrick, what do you say when someone asks you what you do? It depends. You know, biggest thing to do is answer them and then ask a question back. And if you say what you do, so I'll give you an example. When I did legal services, right, I worked for you know, a company, and I still technically am, you know, rep, you know, with that company. You know, that's the first company that I saw my success in. It was Legal Shield. You know, someone say, hey, you know, what do I do? And it would depend kind of like what the person did. I always try to talk their language, but a lot of times it depends. If I was maybe playing more of the hat as a recruiter, you know, like if I was like out there and I was trying to recruit them or something and I wanted to be a recruiter, sometimes I wanted to be looked at as a recruiter. Sometimes I wanted to be looked at as like just an employee with some really big company, and I just happen to know people that might be able to get them in. So that's a kind of a different view that I would, a different persona that I would play. But I would say something and say, hey, you know, I work with one of the largest companies that deals with, you know, identity theft and legal services. The company's called Legal Shield, you know, or prepaid legal services. Have you ever heard of them? You know, and so I'm always going to ask a question, right? So I'd say, hey, I work for this company. Now, that's not the main company that I promote now. You know, now I work with a company that's in the travel industry, right? You know, so now that's the main business that I built. We're in the travel space. So, you know, I tell people, I say, hey, you know, I work with an internet company in the travel space. Do you like to travel? Right? And I just ask them a question. You know, I say, oh, you know, well, someone says, what do you do? And I say, well, do you like to travel? Right? And then they'll usually say, well, yeah, I love to travel. Oh, I wish I was doing more of it. And I'll just be like, you know, well, I mean, oh, really? You do like to travel? Awesome. You know, yeah, well, I happen to work with a company that, you know, is in the travel space. So what do you like? Tell me a little bit about that. You know, you like to travel. What do you, oh, you're not doing enough. Why is that? You know, I'm going to spin it right back onto them, right? You know, I'll say, hey, you know, one of the things that, you know, we do is we, you know, and insert benefit, but tell people when you say what you do, you know, make sure that you insert maybe the benefit. All right. And then ask a question. Right. So, you know, yeah, we happen to be one of the largest companies that does X, Y, and Z, you know, for people, but don't get too pitchy. All right. A lot of times this is where people make a mistake. They get too pitchy. Don't be pitchy. Right. Don't go, oh, well, you know, we happen to be the greatest company in the world that we do. I heard a lady one time do a pitch when someone asks you, what do you do? Give them your pitch. And I heard this lady go off, you know, and saying, oh, you know, we're the fastest growing, you know, weight loss, you know, a nutrition company. We're building orphanages in this place, and we're doing this over here, and we've got this challenge that we put people on, and blah blah blah. And it's like when the average person loses 10 pounds per challenge. I mean, she went off on this day, and I'm like, you would scare someone to death if you're coming at them like that, right? They would be like, I am out of here. All right, how do I evacuate this pitch? This person obviously has no posture, and they are clearly trying to sell me. I need to get the hell out of here. That's what you're doing when you do that. So play it cool, right? So let's see. Someone else asked me a question. Immediate yes or leadership mastery? Choose one. Dang, Kevin. You know what, buddy? You can live in an and/or type of world, brother. But I recommend that you live in the world where you can have it all. And I believe you can have it all. And if you want to find a way, you would. If finances are that limited, I mean, you can't even. That's like saying, hey, man, you know, which child do you like the most? You know, your daughter or your son? How do you answer that? I mean, it depends on you, man. You know, it really does. If strategically, let me try to be non-biased. Strategically, I would get leadership mastery. Here's why. Immediate yes formula will still be available when you have more money. If it's a money thing and you've got like only $297 in your bank account, you can't get leadership mastery for $297 and immediate yes formula for $147, and you're really like, ooh, which one do? I would get the courses in the Reality Networker series, because they're once this thing is done and I close the cart and all that, they're gone, and you gotta maybe wait 6 months. Immediate yes formula is available all the time, so just from a strategic standpoint, you might want that one. Because you can always go back and add that one later. All right, and actually you can do that from inside. Once you buy all these courses are digital delivery, by the way. So don't ask me like, hey, I didn't get it shipped to me yet. You're getting it immediately. You should get an email in your inbox right away. All right, so that's what I would do. That's my advice for you, brother. All right, so you know, Patrick asked me a good question. I feel like I've answered a lot of questions. Oh, Jesse, don't share I gotta kill one of your posts here. You shared your Facebook page. You can't do that, man. That's not cool. Jesse, no. Bad Jesse. Don't do that. I don't want to have to, you know, if everyone starts sharing, think about what the thread would look like if everyone started sharing their Facebook pages. That wouldn't be cool, would it? I wouldn't be able to answer any questions. It would be too spammy with links. No links. All right. So, oh, Patrick, you asked a cool question before and I missed it. Someone's texting me. I don't know why. I can't focus on too many different things. Unless it's a problem. Okay, someone's telling me what it looks like, I guess. You know, so let's see. Oh, whoever's showing me that, you gotta, I don't even know what you're doing. Whoever texts me that, that's whatever. All right, can you answer actual questions, please? Enough with the courses. Oh, Michael, I think I'm gonna have to boot you out of here, dude. You're being lame, man. It's not cool. I'm trying to help people here, man. And you know something, you know, after this webinar, so, okay, I'm not answering Michael's questions anymore. All right, so you're gone for being uncool. All right, so let me see. I answered Patrick's question. Let me see. So by the way, let me just say something to all of the people that are thinking that enough with the courses. You know, it's like, I'm so thankful that that I didn't have that attitude growing up. I'm so thankful that when I was in this business, I wasn't like, okay, no more pitching me. When someone sold anything, that's where, as a professional, I perked up. That's where I was like, oh my God, is someone presenting right now? What can I learn? What can I study from their pitch? All right, how are they saying this? All right, like, let me analyze that. What can I take away from what they did and how they did it? Because I had an inquisitive mind and I wanted to be a champion and I want to be the best at my game. So anytime someone opened their mouth, I looked for opportunities for people to sell me because I wanted to study them. And the best way to learn is by watching how someone else does something. That's why I created the Reality Networker series in the first place, because I know the best way to learn is by watching somebody else do it. The best way for you to learn how to learn how to prospect is watch a master in the field of prospect. Best way to learn how to sell is to watch a master in selling sell. Right? So I looked at everyone and I learned, how can I do it right? How can I do it wrong? Right? So that's what I was looking for. And you know something, the reason that I'm sharing any offers of this, you know, and you know, again, if you feel like I'm being too pitchy and you want to leave, that's totally fine. I don't want to serve everyone here. I want to serve, you know, the fans that, you know, are the hungriest and that really have got, you know, an attitude of gratitude and a high amount of appreciation. All right. Because for me personally, you have no idea. I think today we're so spoiled because if we want information on something, all we got to do is YouTube, Google, or find some person like me that's willing to give the information away for free. Do you have any idea how much information I give away for free? I have over 100 videos and 1 million views on YouTube. How much does YouTube charge for this content? Zero. How much did I charge? Zero. For all of that free content. How much am I charging you to attend this webinar and get all these gold bombs these freaking gold bars that I'm dropping and all these knowledge bombs? How much, who had to put in a credit card to attend to watch this? Nobody. So this is free. And you want to know something? The only reason I have products that I'm selling, you know, is because I want to make sure that when this thing is done, people don't just go home and go to sleep and forget everything that they learned. All right, I want you to be able to continue learning from me when I'm in Key West tomorrow, hanging out with a bunch of top earners in our company, you know, at the freaking Real World MTV mansion. When I'm out there, I don't want you to be like, I hope Cesar does another one of these trainings soon because I learned a lot. I want you to be continually learning from me or whoever you want. But if you're following me, maybe there's you're following, if you're on this thing, you've still stood and hung on there because you know I give value. And if you want more of that and you want my unique angle, my unique spins, then I feel like I'm blessing people. When I sell anything and I put my name behind it, I feel like I'm blessing people. I feel like I'm helping them out. I don't look at it as like I'm trying to pitch them. The reason I do so well in my network marketing companies is because I have belief and I know what I'm doing and I stand behind it. When I prospect someone, a lot of you guys have had questions on fear and anxiety. Here's the thing. Do you really believe in what you're doing? I mean, do you believe that you have a better way? Because if you do, then you're going to go out there with passion. I feel like if I shake your hand, this is the luckiest day in your life. If I prospect you, this is the day that you just met Cesar Rodriguez. This is the day when you shake someone's hand, Michael, that they met freaking Michael. They met the person that could change their life. They did. This could be the pivotal moment. They could one day, like the guy that prospected me at GNC, 14 years later, I'm telling that story. You know, I'm over here today. And back then I was like, you can't even see me. I was down there. All right. I was working like minimum wage at GNC and making a little commission on top of that. Right. So that's what someone changed my life. My mentor, thank God he said, buy that product. It'll help you. Buy that book. It'll help you. You know, every person that sold me something that I bought it, thank God I would go to a free seminar by Tony Robbins and he would upsell me on his next seminar. When he does that, I'm writing down notes. Everyone else is freaking in la la land going, oh, here's the pitch. I'm going, oh my God, Tony Robbins is pitching me. Holy, what did he say? What was that story? Oh, that was genius. Something to think about, things that make you go, You know, so if you've got You know, if you've got a belief in what you do, then you're not hurting people when you're offering them something. You're helping them. You're blessing them. So it's just a mind reframe, you know, and you know something, at the end of the day, I only want to serve people that are grateful and that have got a great attitude. So if anyone right now has a problem with me talking about anything that I'm marketing, you know, anything that I'm selling that's got my name on it, you're free to leave, man. This is a free webinar. It didn't cost you anything. You don't have to ask for a refund for the webinar, right? You know, this is a free live stream training. All right, so here's the deal. Me personally, I've aggregated all of the information and have gone through all of the no's and the pain and the years of suffering and not having, you know, the lifestyle that I wanted. All right, I was 24, 20, I think I was probably 23 or 24 years old. I didn't even go to the beach one time. All I did that year was prospect, do presentations, and I was dressed in a freaking shirt, had a tie on, collared shirts. All right, I was freaking going hard, missed the beach, and I lived 20 minutes from it. 20 minutes from the beach, and I didn't go one summer, and I looked good, and I had a beach physique and body. I didn't go because I was working and I was grinding and I was sacrificing and I was spending hours reading books by myself instead of hanging out with buddies of mine who were drinking and partying and having a great time. So that one day I could have this thing sharp enough to attract the lifestyle and the money that I wanted. All right, so I made those sacrifices and then I bundled them into courses. And you can pick it up for less than, you can pick up all my courses for like less than $1,000, you know, don't buy a thing. Spend the next 10 years trying to figure it out yourself. And then one day, if you ever do, you'll go, damn, Cesar already talked about all that and I could have bought it 10 years ago. Fine. You can do it the hard way if you want. I'm just trying to offer to the people that really appreciate how easy information now is to be delivered. I'm just trying to give them the opportunity, trying to give you guys the opportunity to pick it up, you know, for a fraction of time and cost. So that's my attitude. So, whew, but I got to take the black B10XB hat off, man. This is my hardcore hat. Whew, where did that guy come from, right? All right. Hey, honey, can you put on the air conditioning? It got a little hot in here. All right. So, all right. So thanks for the content. Well, now that's a refreshing start to a conversation. Carlos expressing a little appreciation. First, thanks for the content. Got on fire once I watched it. Thank you very much. What do I do when someone tells me they are interested, but not now, but later? I hate following up. Just want to know what to say next. Interesting about the psychology of this question. Just because he seriously first thanked me for the content, I broadcast it and I decided to answer that question before I even read it, just because he thanked me. Isn't that interesting how a little show of gratitude gets you attention? All right, now you guys don't all have to do that, but it's a totally different thing than saying, you know, hey, you know, enough with it, whatever. Give me back my free content. You're not entitled to anything. I don't owe anybody anything. This is free charity. My beautiful fiance is in the other room. Actually, I could be. Let me put the pink hat on again. I'm forgetting. I need to get in touch with my soft side here. My, you know, I feel like I'm still wearing the all black B10XB hat. All right, let's see. So, all right, I'm crazy, I know. All right, so let's see here. What do I do when someone tells me they're interested, but not now? I hate following up. If they tell you that they're interested and they're genuinely interested, depends how filled your funnel is, right? If someone is saying like, hey man, look, I'm really interested, set a date for when they can get in. Like, I'm really interested. Okay, why aren't they signing up? Are they just saying, oh, I just need some time to think about it? Then you miss something. And if they're saying that and you, look, here's your goal. This is what I was taught. Okay, this is gold. This is gold. All you guys that just stayed on, this one thing could be game changing for you like it was for me. So let me just see how many people we've lost or how many people we stayed out. Oh, we've lost some people. They're going to miss out on this. If you don't close or you don't get someone to sign up, here's your next thing. The next most important thing is to find out the reason why they didn't. You have two goals, right? Your one goal is to properly expose them, right? Hopefully they say yes and join. So your first goal, right? Let's just be real. Your first goal is you want to sign them up. If you can't do that, your next goal, plan B, is to find out the real reason why they didn't. So if they're going to say something, oh, I'm interested, but not now, but later, find out why and when. When is later? Is later this Friday because that's their payday? Okay, well then set a date, you know, and Tanya, my fiance, she's the best with that. She will freaking have the date for that person, you know, and she'll say, okay, great. You get paid on this Friday. Awesome. Well, when are you going to get paid exactly? What time do you get paid? You get paid like at midnight? Is it Friday? So you get paid on Friday. So is it like Thursday at midnight? What time do you go into work? Should we talk, you know, at 12:01 at night, or should we go ahead and do it in the morning before you go to work? Right? You know, you want to schedule that appointment when you're going to talk. Okay, let's talk right when you get off work. Oh, you get a check. When will you be able to deposit it? You deposit it after work, you know, at 4 o'clock. All right, great. When will you be home by a computer next? 5? Great. Let's meet at 5 p.m. You know, bam, and then sit down and talk to them there. All right. So that's what I would do. You know, when you're following up. All right. So find out the real reason why they didn't join. All right. And if it's something that was an objection, or they're just like, oh, I just need to think about it, mull around, and that's something that you need to figure out. And my goal would be, when someone tells me think about it, no, or they need time, you know what I do? I mentally consider them a no. And the minute you count someone as a no, then you've got nothing to lose. If someone says, hey, you know, I don't know, I'm on the fence, I would rather ask them a tough question and blow them out. You know, I'd rather just say, and that's just me. This is just Cesar, right? You know, so this is just what I do. My job is to find out the real reason, you know, and I don't want to waste any time ever following up with someone that's not going to join. I don't want to waste my freaking time dialing a number, you know, for them to pick up and say, yeah, I've decided no. So I want to find out now, right on the bat. All right. Oh, thank you. Dude, this was an awesome person right here. You got to give this guy right here, Bartos, if I'm saying that correctly. I know you said something before. Very cool. This is like be cool strategy. My fiance Tanya, she's got something she calls the be cool strategy. It's just being cool. Look at Bartos being cool. He's rewording Brandon's question. Is that an awesome thing? All right, Bartos, you're the man. Matter of fact, Bartos, if you want to post your Facebook page on here so people can follow you because you're so cool, you're the only person allowed to do that right now. Just for being, because look at what he did. This is like brotherly love, right? You know, he said, Cesar, you missed this dude's question that you wanted to ask. You wanted to answer this. Here it is. Let me tee it up for you, make it easy. Brandon asked, how do you approach a couple as a single person? That was the second question you wanted to answer. So cool, you. All right, so here's what you do. All right, when you go in, and if it's a couple, compliment the couple, right? It's no different. Now you got something to say, man, dude, okay, you guys are like, I have done this so many different times. In Reality Networker Prospecting Mastery, you see me prospect couples, see me prospect a foursome, right? An entire group, like it's like a couple and their parents. You see me do that all the time, all right, in different scenarios, and I explain how to do it. I'm not gonna do a whole big thing on this, but here's what I'm just gonna say. All right, the best thing, one of the best lines that I use on couples is I will compliment them on being an awesome couple. I'll say, like if they're doing, I'm looking for them to do something cute so that I can tell them what a cute couple they are. You know, I went up to couples, you know, that I've seen like holding hands or touching each other, and I'll just go over there, oh, come on. And when I was single, I'd go up and be like, oh, you guys are killing me. You're so cute over here. You know, here I am single and lonely, and you guys are just like the cutest freaking couple in the world. You know, and then they will just beam, and they'll just be like, what? You're single? No? Well, you know, hey, you know, look, I'm just holding out for someone like you. You guys have got like magic. Like I can just tell looking at you guys, you know, and then right then and there, they'll just be like, oh man, well, thank you. And now what have we done? We've just made a friend, right? Look, what you're doing, guys, is you're just making friends. Like if you take prospecting out of your head and just say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out and make a friend. This is a cool couple. I'm going to make a friend. How would you make a friend? You compliment them on something, you know, and they might say, oh, well, you know, and if you compliment them being super cute, they'll probably tell you why they're not. Be like, oh, you should see us fight behind closed doors or whatever, you know, or if I'll just say someone, I'll be like, hey, can I ask you a random question? You guys, how long have you guys been together? This is the randomest thing. Can I ask you guys some relationship advice? You guys a couple, you know, and then just ask them a question. Say, look, you know, I just broke up with my girlfriend, or I'm single. I'm looking at, look, you guys look cool. You guys just look like a regular, like cool couple. Ask them, like, what's the secret? You know, I'll do that, and I'll ask like married couples, especially if like they're older. I'll be like, how long have you guys been married? What? Okay, what's the secret? You know, and they'll just beam right up, man, and they'll just tell you. All right, so that is my advice there. All right, so Bartos, love your content. Just trying to help others like you, and you're doing it, man. You can help in a big way just by being cool like that. All right, so let's see. John Milton said, tell Tanya to come and say hi. She just took a shower, so I don't think she's going to be doing that. So let's see. Cesar, you are 18. I'm not, dude, seriously? IFO, you think I'm 18? That is awesome. You remind me of myself when I was younger. What? You can't be telling me I'm 8. Dude, please tell me I don't look like I'm 18. I mean, that would be like, that was a compliment if I was. Actually, I don't know if that would only, it's only a compliment. Caesar's 35-ish, 36. Why are you guys making me tell on myself? But see, the fact that I look young, that's good, right? That's because if you live well, you will look well, right? So let's see. Oh, I just said something. Balance, Jasmine, let's see what your question is. How will you balance economy and growth when approaching people without trying to look desperate? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Jasmine. How do you balance economy and growth when approaching people when they're without trying to look desperate? Well, you know, first of all, the way that if I just stripped away the first sentence or just like the first 2 parts of that, forget about balancing economy and growth. How do you approach you without looking desperate? Don't sell them too much, right? When you're talking to someone, sell but do takeaway, right? You know, and you'll see me do it only 8 trillion times in every single audio and video in prospecting mastery, calling and closing mastery. Go through that and you'll see that I never look desperate and I'm always in control and I always am coming across with the highest sense of posture possible. All right, so cool. Oh, someone said there's another Cesar on the chat and he's 18. Okay, so thanks for that. All right, he's talking about the other Cesar. Everyone's correcting. Oh, okay, that makes sense. See, I'm not reading everything going on in the chat. By the way, do you guys like this new kind of setup? Is this cool? Would you guys like me to do more trainings like this? Just raw and real, just spit and having fun? Do you guys want more of this stuff? I might do some more of this in the future. All right, so if you guys really like this platform, you like being able to chat and kind of talk with each other and, you know, make friends and all that type of stuff, you know, so I hope so. I think it's pretty fun. So let's see. I'm going to pull down the Reality Networker offer here in a second, and I'm going to show something else for you guys. So let's just see. We've kind of let that one ride for a while. So what other questions do you have? Thank you. I appreciate usually go straight for it for the kill and tell them how I can help them with my product. Let me see what you're saying here. Let me freeze this thing in time. I just want to read this question. Thank you. I appreciate it. I usually go straight for it in the kill. Tell them how I can help them. Not only do get the product, but people like us use it who will needs counseling when you're okay. So I'm not sure. Okay, I think you quoted someone. So Eric G. So I'm not quite sure what to say that. Okay, yes, please. No, I don't like this. I love this. I was gonna say, oh, you don't like it? All right, show's over. Show's over. I'm gonna cut the feed. All right. All right, cool. All right, Periscope, please. What, does someone want my Periscope? Let me see. Okay, let me give my Periscope to everybody. Oh, just type in my name. If you want to find me on Periscope, I'm definitely on Periscope. Just hop on it. Just type in my name, Cesar L. Rodriguez. All right, so it's at Cesar L. Rodriguez. That's how you find me on Periscope. And I'm Periscoping a lot, because honestly, I don't have the time to like film a YouTube video, cut it, edit it. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, you know, and then like, you know, freaking choose the right title and then post it to my blog and then send an email. But Periscope, I can just be like quick and dirty, be like, yo, what's up, blah, 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 and then just be done. And I feel like I've given out value. So if you guys want the most value from me, make sure you're following me on Periscope. All right, great stuff. Someone said, ooh, how do I get off of this thing? Okay. Let me flip over to some other place. All right, so let me remove this offer here. Let's do a different pop-up. I like this pop-up thing, man. It's pretty cool. Oh no, I've got like someone's email in front of my way, so it's like the screen is freezing. Might be a sign that it's time to go. Let's see. Let's throw back up. This will be fun. How about a free training that some of you guys may not know about? This right here is my heavy hitter boot camp. I just popped up something. Most of you guys, like my diehard fans, you've already been through this. If you were thinking about getting any of the other courses and you see this one and you're like, well, this is free, I'm gonna get this one and go through it first. Let me just tell you, this is a training where every day, I wouldn't let this conflict with anything that you've decided to invest in. You can definitely go through both at the same time, because this is just like every day you get a new video for the next 7 days. And it's a video that is not posted on my YouTube channel. It is on prospecting, closing, team building, pretty much all the stuff that we're talking about here. I've kind of made like my best video, I feel like, for each area. And I put it in this training series, and it's bad to the bone, and every single day you get a brand new video. It's my heavy hitter boot camp. You can get it on my blog. If you've already gone through it, then you've already gone through it. It won't probably give it to you again. You know, so it's just it's a one-time thing. Go through the course. It's 7 days. Every day you're gonna get a brand new video. These videos are bad to the bone, man. This is like a friggin' free course. People go through this and they're just like blown away. Let me see. So that's what I would recommend that you do. So you can click to do that. It's like a 2-step thing. Just go to my blog, just pop in your name and email. The next page, it'll give you a survey. When you're on that survey, just answer it, because your answers to those questions actually determine what videos you're gonna get. So you know, if someone referred you to my trainings, for example, you know, you'd click yes. If not, then that's gonna determine, you know, what stuff that you see from me in the future. If you've got like, you know, this or that, or you know, so just do that. So someone's saying this is a nice watch. Thank you. It actually comes off of, thank you, John. It comes off of my vision board here. So I didn't want to get everyone gets Rolexes, you know. I didn't want to get a Rolex, so I got like a Gucci, and I wanted some bling to match my fiance's diamonds, because I was like, man, if I'm going to get her diamonds, I want to get some diamonds, you know, I want to get some stuff. So what's cool about it is not a lot of people compliment it, because they look at it, and only like the watch connoisseurs like kind of know that it's you know, it's a nice watch. So, you know, I believe in treating yourself. This was on my vision board, and I made it a reality, right? That's what it's about. All right. So thank you very much. Good eye, John. Anyone that compliments my watch, I'm like, this is a sharp person. So who doesn't like someone that doesn't compliment them? John Milton, your name will be remembered. Appreciate it. All right. So let's see. Describe a situation where it's been hard or intimidating to recruit or prospect a person. I could describe like 8 million of them if I had the time and I wanted to give energy to a weakness, to a weak time period in my life. You know, but I guess probably one, which is kind of funny. I did do this on the, you know, on the B10XB live training. So again, if you haven't, actually, when you go, here's what's cool. If you register for this boot camp that you see, the first day, it's actually the B10XB training video of me on stage, and you'll see me share a story where it was hard for me to prospect. But then what Tanya did, you'll hear a funny story about me on stage and how I was like, didn't want to prospect this one guy, actually, because I thought he was like too successful, because he had like on like the presidential Rolex watch that was like, I was like, damn. And I knew this guy at the time probably made like $200,000 to $300,000 a year, maybe more, and based on his profession. And I almost didn't prospect him, because the weakness said, well, it's a conflict of interest. He works with a company that you're currently, you know, like that you do trainings for, because he's like in the timeshare industry. And I was like, you get in trouble if you do this, and don't do that, don't blow. So I had that voice, but then Tanya did something pretty funny that snapped me out of it, having to do with B10XB, and it got me over my fear, and I prospected the guy. So cool. So that's what I was just saying. Hey, just watch the training, man. It's free. The Heavy Hitter Bootcamp is free. Every day you can get a brand new training video. So if you're going through any of the courses that I shared with you guys that you can pick up today on this training, and then you can go through those courses, and then also just get like your daily dose of motivation by going through, you know, each day, just watching those videos. And then it'll also be on my email list, and you'll get also all kinds of cool stuff. All right, so let's see here. Okay, I'm in network marketing for 8 months. All I've earned is $100 because I'm still working on my mindset. How do I answer someone that says, how much did you earn so far? Oh, I answered that question already. You know, so here's the deal. If you guys registered for this webinar, I believe that you will get a replay sent to you tomorrow at 8 a.m. That's how I have the system configured. And that replay will be available for 48 hours, well, I guess minus the 12 hours, so about 36 hours. So just go ahead and watch it, especially in the intro. That was one of the first questions I answered. So just for interest of time and my voice, I want to get to something fresh. But the answer is there, and I went into a lot of detail. You guys remembered, right? Those of you guys that have been on with me from the beginning, you guys know I went into like a lot of detail on like different, like if they come with this energy, go that way. If they come like this, then go that. All right, so cool. I was waiting to get this one. I have the prospecting closing mastery. Thanks, this info has helped me a lot. So I'm not sure what you're waiting on, but Jennifer, are you talking about my heavy hitter boot camp? Because that's always been there. Yeah. I mean, that's like, it's on my blog. It's the default offer on my blog. So I'm glad that you can do that. If you've got prospecting mastery and closing mastery and you don't yet have leadership mastery, now would be the time to pick it up. All right, so let's see here. Let's see what do we got. With social media connections, how do you gain their numbers? Ooh, here's a good question. Oops. Are you doing the Eric Worre event in October? Oops, I broadcasted the wrong one. I am not. My company event is actually the same exact week, the same exact weekend as the Eric Worre event. So I won't be there, which I would have loved to have hung out there with everybody. And Eric Worre is my man. He's one of my original mentors. With social media connections, how do you gain their numbers and rapport without them being scared of being recruited? Well, biggest thing on social media is, number one, check your Facebook page. Check your accounts. Do you look pitchy? You know, I mean, are you looking like if they were to scan your page, are they going to be scared to be recruited? That's kind of the first rule, right? You know, so check yourself out. Make sure that your page isn't like, hey, I'm looking for 5 people, looking for 5 people to join my deal. You know, click here to da 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 da. You know, if that's the case, then I would say that they're going to be scared to be recruited. So if that's been your experience with your business, then I would change that. All right. The next thing that I would probably say is, let's see, how do you gain numbers? Well, just talk to them and just be brief. You know, it's funny. I had a girl that actually prospected me on Facebook back in the day. She just messaged me. She said, hey, Cesar, what's up? It's me. Hey, give me your number. I want to call you. I want to call you real quick. And you know what I did? I gave her my number, and I knew she was going to pitch me because of what I do, right? I was like, okay, there's a 90% chance that she's going to pitch me. Well, who cares? She's a friend, you know, so she's a friend. So I'm still going to just give her my info. Like, you know, what am I going to be like? No, I'm not going to give you my number. You know, of course. I mean, why not? Why not be cool, right? So, and again, I love it when people pitch me. I like to learn. That's not for that. Ooh, I got to be careful when I say that. I actually ended up flipping it on her, and I ended up pitching her on our business because I already knew everything about her company. When I say I like being pitched, I don't mean by you guys. That's one of the quickest ways to turn me off, honestly, because you got to keep in mind, I get pitched like all the time, and you know, I kind of like not being pitched all the time. I'm going to switch. I'm going to go back on my bouncy ball here. All right, so this is really great for your back. So my energy is starting to wane because I've been on here for like 2.5 hours. So we're going to go ahead and start to wind it down. I have to pack because we're going to Key West tomorrow. Let me see. Great stuff. I'm getting names and numbers, but extremely challenged at getting the people to meet for an exposure. Jude, I covered this earlier, and I just said, hey, you know, follow up with them. If you're getting their names and numbers, you're probably not building enough trust and credibility on the spot. Good course for that is the immediate yes formula. I'm going to remove the boot camp. Let's throw that back up there. There's a formula to building, you know, rapid rapport, trust, and credibility. You may want to get this course because it'll help you to learn how to create info stacks and stack triggers to build rapport, how to really arouse their excitement, you know, in what you're doing so that they want to hear back from you. So if you haven't already clicked on this, Jude, maybe click and open up that immediate yes formula, you know, in another window. You may want to consider getting that course. I don't know how much commission you make, but most people I talk to, you know, it's not that hard for them to make $147 back, you know, in their business, you know. And if you're doing good and you're getting names and numbers, that's great. Then that tells me you have the money that's out there waiting to be collected. You just have to probably tweak a couple things, and you'll probably end up making a whole bunch of money. So that's you kind of got the hard part knocked out, which is really great. So you may want to just tighten up. It sounds like you need to tighten up your closing. So prospecting mastery, calling and closing mastery for my reality networker series would be good, or immediate yes formula would be really good. All right. Sorry, I'm not going to get to meet you, John. Priscilla, what's an effective way to use social media? You know, I just answered a social media question, so I'll stay on this topic for a moment. One thing that I wanted to just say, because I didn't say this on the last time, I just said, hey, be quick, just get their number. Let me elaborate on this. Great couple tips for social media. Do a little reconnaissance, right? Little research. If you're going to message someone on Facebook, ask, you know, look at their page, see what they've been talking about recently, right? You know, so See what they've been talking about. See what they've been sharing. You know, if they say something along the lines of, you know, if they've been talking about, you know, like anything that you can use as a, like you want to use, like go to their about page, find out questions like, hey, where do they work? Where do they live? You know, what are they, you know, like, what are they doing for a living? Do they look happy? What are their posts about? Do a little research and then use that information. All right. You know, to Felicia, use that information to kind of craft your pitch. You know, so that's the cool thing about social media is people are putting everything about themselves. So you can go to this person and you can see, like, you can click about and you can say, okay, they're married to this person. They have 2 kids. These are their favorite movies. This is what they've listed as their job. And then you can go to their Facebook page and look at their pictures. Okay, they obviously like to travel. They're passionate about this. So like if I saw that, you know, I would say something along the lines of, hey, you know, Felicia, what's up? It looks like you're in, it looks like, especially let's pretend that you kind of know them a little bit, like maybe you went to high school, you moved away, you know, you say, oh my God, you can't believe you're living in Michigan, Felicia, that's crazy. And it looks like you're living in Michigan, you know, and you're working for a company where you're actually doing, you know, management. That's pretty impressive. Like, dude, it's been like 50 years. Like, is that what you're up to nowadays? Like, that's awesome. Like, you know, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm doing this. Say, really? Well, that's so perfect because I'm working with a company that's expanding into Michigan and they're actually looking for some people that are, you know, got leadership experience. Are you pretty good at managing people? Right? Ask them a question. They'll say, yeah, what's up? Really? Well, then look, I can't promise you anything. But go ahead and drop me your number. I want to give you a call. You know, I'll kind of tell you a little bit about this project that I'm working on. And, you know, if you like what you hear and I like what I hear, I may be able to refer you on to, you know, one of the top dogs with our company because I know that's a huge hotspot for our company. Are you keeping your options open? You know, so that's something just really simple that you can do through, you know, Facebook or whatever. But I recommend not trying to not do as much. I would do that maybe in a live chat, but the goal is to get their phone number. The only reason to go online is so that you can go offline, right? You want to go online so you can get their number and then you can pick up the phone and call them. All right, you want to go ahead and do that as soon as possible. All right, you want to get on the phone with them because you can avoid those questions like, well, what do you do? Tell me about it. What's the link to your company? Like, you want to get in live. All right, so cool. So somebody says, I have been taught, so that answers that question. Someone says, Stacy, I've been taught to focus on building the relationship friendship. If this is over social media, so I don't know who's taught you this, but you know, here's the thing. Do you have any friends? A lot of people say, hey, do you go direct and get to the point, or do you, like, you know, really build up a lot of friendship and talk to them and then like backdoor and bring it later? I found if you're talking to people, and again, I don't know where I interrupted this conversation or what the thread was. I just saw this, but I saw this when I have a lot of people that think that, and I'm not talking about you or, you know, IFO specifically, but this is you brought up something really great because a lot of people ask me, should I spend like my first conversation just building rapport and then call them up at a later date and pitch them? And I think 100% no. I think you should be direct and get to the point with people, especially if you haven't talked to them for a long time, as soon as possible. Here's why. You want to be real and authentic. If you talk to someone and build a whole bunch of rapport with them and then you happen to call them up like another day and just focus on the friendship and hearing all about their kids, number one, how productive are you being with your time? Like, are you being productive? No, you're like spending all this time. Hey, what'd you do today, honey? Like, you're coming home and like your spouse is like, hey, how was your day and your new business? And you're like, oh, it was great. I just caught up with like, you know, 5 new friends. They're like, 5 new friends? What else did you do? No, that's what I did. I mean, it took like an hour for each person. So that's what I did all day. Would you talk any business? Well, no, not the first time. I'm going to get them later. You know, here's the deal. Number one, you're wasting a ton of time. Say less to more people, right? Sort, don't convince. And what you want to do, and you really need the immediate yes formula if you want to learn how to get in there and just like build rapid rapport quickly, find a problem and get to answering it. The immediate yes formula is the course for doing that. But what I recommend doing is keeping it real, man. Because especially with people that you know, if you focus on building a relationship, especially with one market, for someone you haven't talked to for too long, they kind of, when you do eventually go to the business, you lose all of the rapport and credibility and trust that you built up in the first conversation because they go, that's why he called me out of the blue. That's why she called me out of the blue. She just really wanted to just warm me up for their pitch later. Versus if you just call someone up and you're very direct, you're like, hey man, listen, I wanted to give you a call. It's been like forever since we've talked. I recently just ran across something and I totally thought of you because back in the day, I remember you were one of the most connected people. You were a huge people person. You were a serious leader. And I knew that you were always open-minded and you were all about making money. So after 10 years, it's been forever. I totally just thought of you, and I wanted to go ahead and hit you up, about this, because I want you to know, like, if nothing else, even if this isn't for you, all right. And again, I can't even promise you that we can take you on board just yet. I'm not the sole decision maker, but dude, I want you to just know something. At the end of the day, after 10, 20 years, however long it's been since you've talked, when I looked at this, you were one of the first people that popped in my head as someone that would do really well in it. But again, I don't want to put the cart before the horse here. It's not like, I've got an offer for you or anything. I just wanted to find out if you were open and what you were up to nowadays. So do you have a quick minute? Was that pretty good? Again, I'm just freestyling. I'm just hanging out with you guys, just freestyling. Is this pretty strong stuff? What do you guys like? See, this is like, a lot of you guys go, man, dude, how are you so smooth on this? Is this stuff, does that sound smooth when I just talk? Do you just feel like when I'm talking, like, wow, dude, that was just like so money? Well, here's the deal. Here's how you get like that. Practice. All right. Practice makes permanent. I've just done all these scripts that I'm doing I've just done them in real life so many different times that eventually, it's just, I'm not having to make them up completely from scratch. A lot of this is like my subconscious mind is just like, my mind is just saying, hey, say this, hey, say that, because that works because you tried it out before, So, Stacy had the question, so he's saying something else. Oh, Jim said, I love all your products, got them when you first came out with them. Just wish I got the bundle price up. The price is the same exact, buddy. I retroed the price for all of those 3 courses when they came together was $791. All right, and it's $791 if you get them today. So I want you to understand something. I never penalize anyone or come out with something for cheaper at a later date. It's the first time I offer something, it's the cheapest you're ever going to see it. The price will only go up. So Jim, my friend, you definitely did not pay any more unless you chose a payment plan. Because like anything in life, if you choose the payment plan, you typically have to pay a little bit, extra. All right. It's like interest, right? For not paying right away. Stacy had the question, how do we talk to a prospect when you have kids? Oh, and that's why IFO's answer was, so this was, I guess, why their answer was, I was just taught to build rapport right away. If you talk, how do you talk to someone when you have kids? The same way that you talk to them when you have without. Except when you have kids, you get to be faster, right? You can say, hey, listen, my kids are in another room. I'm in a big rush, but I just want to ask you really quick. Boom, you get to go into it, and then you get to blame it on someone, blame it on them when if they start asking you a bunch of questions you don't have time for, right? All right. How long before you stop calling old names and numbers? Felicia, what old names and numbers are you worrying about calling, man? Look, call all of your warm market, but I hope you're not constantly like calling them over and over again. Hey, have you changed your mind yet? Don't do that. Move on to new people, man. Get yourself some fresh blood, man. New blood is the lifeblood of your business. All right. So guys, we're at 2 hours and 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut it. Oh, look at that. Liz, thank you. Liz literally is like, you're in my mind. I just said that, but she said, just want to let you know. Let me just broadcast this. Liz, I tip my hat to you, young lady. I appreciate it. So just want you to know how much I appreciate these 2.5 hours of information gold. Thank you. I appreciate you for saying that. Because my goodness, I grew up in the days, guys. Look at how old I sound now. In network marketing, right? It's funny. I talked to a guy the other day at this event, and I was like, oh yeah, so what's going on? I was like, and he said something to me. And he's like, oh, I've been in this game for a long time. And because, I'm 36, right? And he was like, I don't know, he's like maybe 50. And he's like, oh, I'm an old timer. He's like, I've been in the industry for 14 years, And I was like, oh, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, me too. Like he wasn't expecting that, right? He didn't, I hadn't spoken yet. I don't think he saw me speak or whatever yet at the event. And he was like, oh, I've been in for like 14 years. And he probably thought like, just because I was young, like there's no way I could be in as long as him. And I was like, well, man, I said, I don't feel like I'm an old timer. I said, I've been in for a while, but I kind of tease him. I'm like, I have too. I was like, oh, man, I started when I was pretty young. I started when I was 21. All right. But that was pretty funny. Oh, just a little clarification. She meant as far as how do you talk to people when the kids are with her. All right. So being at the mall with kids, dude, that's the best time. I can't wait till I have kids. I'm telling you, I can't wait till I have kids and to be going out prospecting with them. Because number one, they're gonna learn. I'm gonna start and I'm gonna get them in on it. I'm gonna be like, look, go break the ice with this person. Here's what you want to say. You know, I want to be teaching them, right? And then also when they start getting crazy, if they're like crying or whatever, I'm going to be like, hey, listen, I'm in a rush. Obviously, like hold on to my kid that's like crying their head off for whatever reason. I'm going to be like, oh, look, obviously I can't talk, but look, if you go ahead and give me your name and number, I'll get back to you with more details. All right, I promise I'll give you a call back later, right? You know, boom, you know, and then grab their info and bounce, right? So, so that, by the way, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Ray Higdon, one of my best friends in the world. He actually shot a video today, which I kind of liked because he mentioned something about saying, you know, great line, just tweak to add is to say, hey, I promise I'll call you back. Because it's like you're doing them a favor. So that's just a nice thing, that nice little add-on to the script. Say, hey, yeah, give me your note. I promise I'll give you a call back. You know, I'm in a rush. My kid's screaming, right? Instead of just like, okay, well, I got to go. I'm busy. You know, bye. I don't have time to answer your questions. Like, what's the name of our company? You know, you get to blame it on your kids. You can say, hey, look, obviously now's not time or place. All right. So, cool. So I've been watching me for 4 months. Someone's saying something. Cesar, you rock. Thank you for sharing so much information. Who's this? And for being real, your stuff is so solid. I've not been able to pull myself away to go eat. Thank you so much. All right. So let me see. Kids are the best when you're prospecting. Dolores, right? So there you go. Here's another perspective. I have to go. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting a lot of love. I have to go now. I have no words. Thank you for doing this. It's pure gold. Man, you mean so much. I want you to know that I'm 18 and with my first payments in your company, I just bought 2-year courses, Reality Networker. Boom! That was freaking bold. See, man, it's got to be the name, right? The guy's name is Cesar. I mean, obviously, you got to freaking be 10 times bolder if your name is Cesar, right? I mean, come on. All right, so yeah, let me pull this up because he said he bought 2 of the courses in the Reality Network. Let me just pull that up. So it'll give you guys your last chance to get anything in this bundle if you are interested. So this is the Reality Networker. That's the full series. So you can get any one of the courses there. Just read the instructions at the top. All right, so cool. Wanted to let you know, to ask you, being a young woman, someone's asking a question. Let me just do this, guys. It's late. It's 10:30. We got an early flight. You guys know me, right? Those of you guys that follow me, you guys know, man, I give till it hurts. You know, I want to lay it all on the field. I just want to thank you guys so much for the love, for the appreciation, just for everything. So, you know, thank you. That's it. I want to just kind of cut it here. If you guys want more training from me, you know, by all means, feel free to pick up any of the courses in that series. There's a little description under each course. You can remove any of the ones that you don't want. If you want more live footage of me, like prospecting in the streets or making phone calls, if you want to master, you know, and kind of steal all of the experiences that I've learned, and you want the fastest shortcut, it's watching someone else do. It's called modeling knowledge. It's how I got good. So feel free to pick up any of those courses. Click to open that new window. You can order it as soon as I'm done here. You know, but that's pretty much it, man. You know, so let me get this one more. Irma, let me help you and all you fellow sisters out there. I want to ask you, being a young woman, how do you deal with prospects that are hitting on you? You establish boundaries very quickly, all right, and you let them know. Say, hey, listen, when you're a woman, you're approaching a guy, and you say, hey, listen, you know, just real quick, this is straight business. I'm not hitting on you or anything, but I just got to tell you, I do appreciate when someone dresses up sharp and carries themselves the way that you have. And you know, I have me working with a company. One of my business partners, he's actually a blankety blank person with our company, and he told me if I'm ever run across sharp business-minded people like you, to find out what they're about and see if they're keeping their options open. So what's your story, right? You know, just tell them that, say, hey, look, I'm not hitting on you. I have to do that too when I'm out there, because even though, you know, I'm taken and practically married, right, as a guy, when I'm talking to a female, right, you know, she doesn't know that. She doesn't know that I'm not hitting on her. So I got to say, hey, no, real quick, you know, I'm not hitting on you. You know, and that establishes the boundaries, and I kind of gets them laughing too, you know. So say, oh, okay, I know. Because guess what? People can talk to other people without always hitting on them. All right, so you just have to say that. All right. So awesome. This training was everything. Tabitha saying the page came blank. I don't know. Tabitha, maybe try clicking on it again, hon. I don't know what to say there. Thanks to Mill Cesar from Dario. Angie saying she loves us. Appreciate it. I don't know if Julie is still on here, but Julie, Miss Baxter, she actually gave me a little shout out earlier, so I appreciate you, hun. No words so much. Thank you so much. Let me see what else. Get some sugar and iced tea. Thank you. Been watching me for 4 months. More value. You know, been watching for 4 months now. You constantly give away more value than you charge for. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's what I pride myself on. It's been absolute gold, bro. Appreciate this testimonial. I think it's about the best training out there. Keep it coming. Thank you so much, Dave. Awesome, awesome. Love to hear this again. I think this will be sent out automatically to everyone that registered tomorrow at 8 a.m. All right, so 8 a.m. Eastern. I just set it to say, like, you know, I don't know. We'll see if it works, right? New thing. All right, so that was smooth as silk. We were saying silky smooth, freestyle versus hustle. All right, cool. I'm kind of scrolling down. All right, so that's it, guys. You know, be sure you're following me on Periscope. Let me just put that in. Periscope. Make sure you're following me there. And do me one more favor. Let me post this. All right, I'm going to kill the pop-up on Reality Networker. Here's what I want you guys to do. Show me some love and show the world some love right here on this page. Dude, I can't believe, like, we still have hundreds of people watching. You guys are freaking amazeballs. All right, last chance to click on Reality Networker. I'm about to remove it. So click it, open it up in a new cart, so that way you can add it. You know, but be sure to do that tonight before midnight, so that way you guys can take advantage of the offers and the pricing there. I'm going to go ahead and kill it in 3, 2, 1. It's gone forever now. All right. Now I want to put this up. I want to just put my Facebook page back up. So go on over here to Facebook. And if you don't mind, connect with me there. Click on that link. Open in a new page. And not in the comment thread that I already posted, but just as another testimonial, if you could, just say just say something about this training. Say, man, like, Cesar, your live stream training, like, you know, your question and answer training session was like the bomb. It was awesome. I want to hear testimonials. I might showcase it later. Heck, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might take some of these clips out. I might share it as a testimony, or just maybe make many YouTube videos or something from this later. But, you know, at the end of the day, show me some love. Just make a post to my page so I can see your name and your face and put that together. And don't post it underneath one of my posts. Just create a whole new clip. That would be awesome. Just create a whole new post on it. And I'll be able to, that way I can just see, like, posts by others, and then I'll be able to see it. And you won't get lost in, like, a comment thread with like 8,000 people. All right, so guys, thank you so much. I tip my hat to you. The pink one, this one, and of course, the hardcore Cesar hat, the black and white. All right, so tip my hat to you guys. Be 10 times bolder. All right, conquer your fears, guys. You're worth it. And I'm just going to tell you something. You know, I made a lot of sacrifices, you know, when I was early on in the business. And I got made fun of by a lot of friends. They said I wasn't having, you know, I was doing this and I was doing that. But, you know, it's freaking worth it, man. Because at the end of the day, man, you get one life to live, you know, and this is your dreams and your destiny. If you've latched onto something and you're excited about it, freaking run with this, man. Because, you know, you don't want to go to your deathbed, you know, and wonder, like, oh, what would I have been if I hadn't been a quitter? Like, what could I have accomplished? Whose lives could I have touched? It blows my mind sometimes when I just think, I'm like, I've got hundreds. We had like 1,000 people in 2 days that I announced this. We had 1,000 people register for this. 1,000 people, you know, gave a damn enough about, you know, their businesses and me to, like, trust me and say, this guy delivers. I'm gonna hop on this thing and watch him. And I just think, like, I can't believe that I have this kind of influence and that I have these, you know, these gifts and these talents that I've refined. I've just been blessed. I'm humbled. Like, I can't believe it. But because when I think about it, I see how other people think about me. And I just think, I'm just a kid that at 21 years old saw something and refused to quit. And I just sacrificed when no one else did. And I'm going to tell you something. It's not going to take you 10 years like it took me, because you guys have access to information like this that I didn't have. You're going to be able to, in a fraction of the time, you're going to be the ones that people are going to be, you know, 1,000 people are going to be registering to watch you open your mouth and answer questions. because they know how much value you have to give, because you decided to invest in yourself, because you decided to do that. So I just want you guys to understand that you have that ability to do that, because if I did it, then like literally anyone can, because I don't think that I'm anything special. Same thing with Tanya. We look at ourselves, people are like, can I get our picture with you? And we're just like, wow, we're regular people, but people feel like we're rock stars just because we decided to get punched in the mouth a bunch of times, you know, metaphorically, you know, when we're out there talking about our business. We just refused, you know, to stay down when we got hit, you know. And yeah, I made sacrifices, but they've all come back to me. Whatever you sacrifice now, time, if you're sacrificing time, you will get a harvest of more free time later. If you're sacrificing money by investing it in yourself instead of spending it on stupid stuff, all right, or just leaving it in the bank and watching it accrue 0.000.1 interest, all right, and instead you're investing it in books, courses, seminars, in yourself. If you're doing that, you're sowing seeds of money, you're going to get a harvest of money down the road. All right, that's just how the law of sowing and reaping works. Whatever you sow, you will reap, and you will get it back 100-fold. All right. I remember that year, yesterday, my fiance and I, we were at the beach, and I just am sitting there thinking, can't believe that we're at the beach right now. It's so awesome. I remember when I didn't even go to the beach because I was working like a workaholic so many times. I remember doing that. Now we're moving into a house, you know, next month in the nicest subdivision of like our entire city, like the one that everyone knows about. If you just utter the name, like, oh, we live in this area, people are like, what do you do? Right? So we're like moving there into like $1 million house, and it's just the two of us, so that we are going to then from there, you know, start a family. So it's like I grew up in 5 of us in a 2-bedroom apartment. Our unborn kids already have rooms set aside for them, ready for them to become of age to where they can have their own room. Think about that mind shift. Just because I made a couple sacrifices, I wrote down my goals, I invested in myself, and I worked my ass off, and I didn't care what anyone else thought. So you think about that next time you want to go prospect someone and you want to cop out. You think about that next time you want to go pick up the phone and you want to, you know, what's up? Remember to ask yourself, what would I do if I was 10 times bolder, right? You have a message inside the hat. Remember to be 10 be dreams and never give up. Love you guys so much. Appreciate your time. And we're going to go ahead and call it an evening. All right. Have an awesome one. Appreciate you guys hanging with me this long.